Welcome, everybody. It is our number one session of Tyranny of Dragons. We are basically, this was something that come of a one shot. We had so much fun with it that we absolutely wanted to make sure that this was something that we did every week here, and we're happy to have everybody here for this. We have, let's see, let me check my notes here. Mr. Willie Pete was our follower overnight. Last night we had a fantastic session. Our D&D Sunday was amazing, and we had tons of people here. Thank you guys for being here. We are immediately going to jump right into it. Havoc is once again our DM. We have a bunch of new people. It's going to be pretty fun, pretty interesting. We hope you enjoy. But yeah, we're not going to even waste any more time. We're just going to get into it. So, all right. So Havoc, whenever you are ready, let's get into it.
Alright, cool. Alrighty, so this is the beginning of the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. Let me get my notes situated again. Alright, so everybody in this party has been drawn in. Actually, I'm just going to read the description I typed out for y'all. I liked it. So, just an introduction to the campaign if you didn't see it. The Cult of the Dragon has been active in Faerun for centuries. It is focused on making undead dragons to fulfill a prophecy most of that time, but that's changing. The cult has started to move and draw attention to themselves with more blatant attacks than in the past. Something big is happening. Our adventurers have all been impacted by the cult in one way or another. They are all in search of the cult for these reasons. The one thing they all have in common, however, they need information. Rumors have begun to surface of cult activity near the village of Greenest. Thus, our heroes are traveling with a merchant to the village to see what they can discover about their past and ultimately their future. So, you have all been traveling for the past several days. You've been traveling a road that winds lazily across the rolling grasslands of the green fields, while guarding and accompanying the traveling caravan of Thatcher, the merchant. Sundown is approaching, and when you top a rise and see the town of Greenest, just a few short miles away. But instead of the pleasant, welcoming town you expected, you see thick columns of black smoke rising from the burning buildings, running figures that are little more than dots at this distance, and a dark, winged shape wheeling low over the keep that rises above the center of the town. Greenest is being attacked by a dragon. What do y'all want to do?
So we can stop the hill. Are we still moving forward towards the town?
You have stopped at the top of the hill. Thatcher is kind of looking shocked at the head of this small caravan. And overlooking it, you can see in the dusk light the obvious attack of a dragon on this town that you were heading towards.
I'm going to clasp Thatcher on the shoulder. Hurry, friend. They need our aid.
He looks at you and eyes are like saucers. He says, stranger, I'm not made for battle. I'm not made for fighting. We'll wait here, though. You've served us to protect us this far. I think we'll be fine here. But if you want to go up there, they could surely use your help.
I kind of clear my throat. Why are we stopped?
Right. She's blind.
Just trying to take there's I'll jump off the back of the wagon and hit the ground in response to Toast comment like, no, there's a dragon attacking Greenest.
Wait. Is your character's name Tolf still, or is it Tara?
I changed it.
It's Tara.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or Tara. Okay.
We have Tara,
Tara. Okay.
Arun, Max, Steve, and Kegthor.
Yeah. So at the ground, just basically filling Tara in, and kind of look to the rest of the group. Are the rest of you coming? Or going to stay here with him?
I'm gonna kind of drop off from the top of the caravan, back onto the ground and say, "You have my bow. There's no way I'm turning around from something like that."
I'm not giving you my sword, but I'll help you fight.
Oh, that would elicit a grin. Fair enough. Turn to Steve.
Guess so. We do have business there, and it would be most beneficial if it wasn't on fire any more than it already is.
Damien, can you your mic dropped in volume or quality or whatever again?
I'm all in. Y'all just gotta point the way.
So, everybody in accord to head to the town of Greenest?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I'll put my arm around Tara's shoulders and kind of push her forward, my hand on her back.
I'm just gonna shrug off his hand. Don't touch me.
Try and keep up.
Lead the way.
All right. So as y'all take off, like I said, it's approaching sundown. So that by the time you traverse these last couple miles, it takes you a little bit of time. Dusk is past. It's starting to set into the night, early at night hours. But as you approach, you're able to go through the closest entrance that you see in there, leading up to a few houses. You're looking around. You do notice that while there are fires around in the area, you notice none of the houses are actually on fires. There are some broken glass and busted down doors, things of that nature, but none of the houses are actually set ablaze. As you approach into the
streets, sorry.
Yeah, on the streets, you see like random hay bales and stuff like that for the little bit of farms that are on the outskirts. Those are all set afire or set ablaze, but none of the houses are actually on fire. As you move in, you are surrounded by a few small cottages. And without warning, 5 humans dash out from between 2 buildings on your left, heading to the buildings to your right. A limping man and 3 young children race along across the street into more shadows, and a woman carrying a round shield and a broken spear turns and faces back in the direction from which they came. Following behind her, 8 kobolds stream out of the alley on the family's heels and fan out around the woman, who looks determined to delay the creatures for as long as possible.
Wait, where are they going?
So this is the scene that you see before you. You see the kids and the 1 male adult to your right, and you see in the center of the street with the kobold slowly encroaching around her, a lone woman with a broken spear and a shield in front of you. What do you want to do?
Unsheathe my sword and start pointing at the kobolds, and with extra bass in my voice, just yell, "Stay back!"
With that, they kind of look at you, and 3 of them break off and begin approaching the party.
You don't want to do that. Back away.
Am I allowed to use basically any action in this instance?
At this point in time, we're going to roll for initiative, actually.
Okay. I guess I was to say, I will just put an arrow into his head then.
I will plug one.
I'm gonna make you do work because I already forgot to click on my icon when I rolled.
Oh, Jesus. The initiative rolls already. Come on, man.
My initial was a 14.
Don't complain about initiative this early. We gotta set the tone. Start the narrative.
Don't make fun of me. I actually forget where initiative roll is.
Top center.
Yeah,
top
I can
center.
click on the word, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why.
So select yourself, click on the word, and it'll pop up. It'll put you in the thing.
Yeah, I'm so used to doing it right now.
Spooky, scary kobold.
running
Holy
down the
shit,
street.
and every one of them rolled better than I did. Oh, nope, there's one I didn't. Oh, that's perfect. The fucking initiative roll from Tara is perfect.
We're cold. And we just jumped off a train. You know what I mean?
Weren't
Tara's...
really ready for a fight yet. You were just kind of running into town. You're like, shit, kobolds! They're chasing a
Mhm.
woman. Yes, let's
Then
attack. Oh,
And-
shit,
My initial
Yeah.
roll was a 14.
Willie, we did just
Unfortunately,
walk
not
up
a
to
three.
her.
Oh, no, I like the 3 better just because it makes sense. It makes sense from roleplay.
What is going on?
Why is everybody making so much noise? Silence.
Alrighty.
It
So,
doesn't look like it added mine. I'm sorry.
You gotta remember to click on your player icon before
that's
you
fine.
roll.
Yeah.
Don't do it now. Don't do it now.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody in there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Max with a short name confused me. I'm like, there's only 4.
Sorry about that.
All right. So, as you're approaching and Max so eloquently shouts protest, trying to stop these kobolds that outnumber you to stop, they begin approaching. This one in the back, seeing the threat, goes ahead and takes a few steps forward and readies a swing in the air, swinging it around his head, and launches it towards Steve. Does a 14 hit.
Yes. It does.
So he hits you in the head for 2 bludgeoning damage with this rock that he propelled out of it. That being said, it is now your turn.
Right. Run up.
Don't leave us in suspense.
Remind me again if I want to wait for them to get closer or wait for someone else to move
You can
forward.
basically ready an action to move and attack. Basically, whatever you would do on your turn, you can either delay it or you can ready it for a specific, circumstance that's going to occur or may occur.
Okay, I will delay until I'm not the only one up there.
Alrighty. So you're going to delay
Yeah.
until Stone Skull goes?
Yeah.
Because you already know that's happening.
You're just waiting for the first teammate to get up in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bouncing on the balls of your feet.
Get up in the guts and make it happen.
Alright. So, what's their movement speed? 30 feet. All right, so this kobold's going to step up, much like his brother that went first. He is going to ready a sling and throw it at Stone Skull. Does a 14 hit?
Does not. I had to actually look to see what my AC was because I didn't remember.
So as he reaches out and flings the sling forward, you're able to quickly bring your sword up and just bat it aside instead of it hitting you.
That's one.
This one in the back is going to move up towards this human and is going to take a swing at her with a dagger. He is going to miss her. She's able to bring part of that broken spear around and deflect the dagger away from her and survive for another turn. That being said, this one's going to step forward, ready a sling, and once again aim at Steve. Does a 13 hit?
No, it does not.
All right, so much like Stone Skull, you're able to bring your rapier up and bat this little rock aside before it hits you. This one in the back is going to continue surrounding this poor woman who's looking very bedraggled and obviously is not a fighter, but he is going to bring his dagger around as well towards her. And unfortunately, he is going to hit her. You all see from the back as she tries to block this dagger's blow, but it does sink into her shoulder, leaving a good gash in her shoulder. She's not looking too good. But this last one is going to step forward, ready a sling, and also go for Stone Skull. And does a 9 hit?
Does not.
All right. So you're able to just kind of bob your head around and kind of laugh at the feeble attempts of these kobolds to hit you.
That's
with
two.
Your turn.
All right. Without hesitation, he's getting right up in the fray and immediately going to swipe at the one to the north of where he is standing with his great sword.
Do it.
Does
14
a
hits.
14 hit. All right.
Oof.
For
yeah.
10 damage.
So as you bring this great sword around, this poor kobold in the front there was kind of turning around to see what the feminine scream from this commoner being stabbed and did not see you coming, and you're able to cleanly decapitate it.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else?
No, that will be my turn.
Alrighty. Steve, you have delayed your action until you had a friend in the melee. You're up.
So, like unsheath my rapier and stab at the kobold's neck.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For
4 damage.
just the 4. I don't think I get the sneak attack.
So you're able to, no, you unfortunately do not get a sneak attack, but you're able to sink it into its neck. This thing is, holding its neck now. It's profusely bleeding, but it is still standing. Anything else?
No, that is it.
Alrighty, Max, you're up.
I kind of, clench my fists. How far forward can I move of a 30-foot move speed?
Yep.
Yeah, so I want to move as far up in combat as I can. And then, can I hit these three? Is that 15 feet? Yep. 15-foot cone.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So as I walk up, I kind of clench my fists, and little gouts of fire start forming at my lips as I kind of like breathe my chest in. And as I step around Steve, I turn and just open my mouth and release a gout of flame that engulfs all three.
All right, roll it.
What's a DC 14?
DC 14, dex save.
Yeah.
2 failed, 1 was able to escape.
So it's half damage on a fail.
All right, so these two and the two closest to you, essentially. So this one and this one, if it'll let me ping. There we go. We're unable to dive out of the way, but the one in the back was able to dive just in time to dodge out of the way of this cone of fire. So it only took half damage. Unfortunately for these two poor kobolds, however, they are engulfed in this fiery burst of flame that erupted out of your mouth, and they are engulfed on it, and you see them just rolling on the ground, howling in pain, and then they slowly stop moving. Anything else?
With that, I'll just unsheathe my sword and look at the hopefully I'm trying to grab the attention of the other ones around the injured lady.
Alrighty, so you kind of look at them very intimidatingly, but that being said, Arun, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to take 10-foot step forward, and I'm going to yell over to Stone Skull, because we know each other's names, right?
Oh yeah, you've traveled for a few weeks together.
Okay, so I'm going to say, Stone Skull, duck.
What? Where?
The ground. And I'm going to launch an arrow into the guy directly behind him. The one that's...
right there?
Yeah. The one that's separating him from the one attacking the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright.
Ugh.
10.
Unfortunately, a 12 does not, or a 10 does not hit.
Yeah, that nat 20, though.
So close. Only advantage. Anything else?
Nope.
So as you fire off this bow shot, yelling at Stone Skull to duck, he actually begins to look around on the ground for a duck, but unable to see one. But luckily for him, he was actually looking down, and your arrow streams past his head without hitting him. But unfortunately, the kobold's able to sidestep around the arrow and dodge it.
Did y'all feel that breeze? That was it was something.
All right, this weakened
I didn't see a
kobold
dog.
up to the top.
I didn't find a duck. I'm sorry.
He is going to take a step back after getting doused in partial fire. Move back.
Unwarmed
behind his
Brute,
group
thank
and
you very
able to
much
swing
for the follow.
for
Very much appreciate it.
Max. Does a 9 hit?
It does not.
All right. So as he brings the sling around, you're able to catch him looking to attack you, and you can just glare at him. And he falters a bit as he releases the rock that was in his sling, and you're able to easily sidestep it around as it lands harmlessly beside you. Tara.
All right. I'm actually going to. Tara is going to move up next. Her skin is going to kind of turn ashen and harden up a little bit. And that's going to end my turn.
We can say as you were heading into battle, being prepared, you already cast that.
Oh, if I already cast that, then I'm going to change my turn.
Okay.
All right. I'm actually right here. I'm going to, as a bonus action, cast Wrathful Smite and move up behind
Steve.
Willie here, or Steve here, and then we're going to take aim at this kobold right next to him. And I am going to swing my maul just as hard as I can right into his chest.
Unfortunately, with the effort you put into the swing, you actually lose your footing slightly, and he's able to kind of bow his chest out of the way of your strike and dodge it. Anything else?
No, just not being able to see what just happened and not expecting a miss. I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. I'm going to end my turn.
Alrighty. Next is going to be this kobold that was attacking the woman. Is going to see that there's clearly a bigger threat from you guys than her, so he's going to take a step back away from her and launch a slinged rock at Stone Skull directly in front of him. Ooh, does a 22 hit?
It does hit.
All right, so as the sling comes around, fortunately you're unable to get out of the way, and it hits you in the shoulder with a little bit of force behind it, and you take 3 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
Well, this one, after having a maul swiped at it from Tara, is going to bring its dagger around and attempt to stab you, Tara. Does a 14 hit?
It does not.
All right, so you're able to feel in the movement in the earth as you're sending out these waves of perception. As this kobold takes a step forward towards you, knowing that it's making an attack, you're able to sidestep around it and dodge it. This one in the back, having a clear line of sight just on the lady, is going to take another swing with his dagger at her. He is going to miss, luckily for her. And she's able to sidestep
Very
around,
luckily.
still holding the shoulder. She's abandoned her spear at this point and only holding the shield up. She's able to sidestep and bring the shield in between her and the dagger and dodge the attack. That being said, this one in front of Stone Skull, not being a fan of him being in his face, is going to attempt to stab him with his dagger. Does a 22 hit?
It does hit.
So he brings the dagger around as you're still looking for a duck for some reason, and is able to bring it into a slight chink in your armor, kind of the spacing between pieces, and deal 4 piercing damage to you.
Okay. I'm actually going to use Stone's Endurance.
Roll him.
1 sec. What is it? 1d12?
Mm-hmm.
What's your con?
Oh yeah, nothing.
Yeah, you get rid of all that damage. So as this dagger begins to sink into your skin, you feel your muscles and your skin flexing it out, and it actually reverbs against the attack, knocking the kobold back a foot or so, and you take no damage from the attack. You gonna put up with that shit? It's your
Oh,
turn.
absolutely not. So as this dagger comes at him and it hits him, he kind of looks down at it and gives it this look like, "Are you kidding me?" And just immediately, just as if like a backhand with a tennis racket, goes right for the head of the kobold with his great sword. Does a 17 hit?
Oh yeah.
With a racket back.
Doing, yeah, a racket backhand. Doing 11. I would like it to be bludgeoning damage, though, because he's doing it with the flat of the blade, because he's just angry at that point, and he's not trying to actually swipe and go through it.
All right. Give me a little narration on how you just took this thing out with bludgeoning damage. Then.
All right, so after this hit, he's like just reacting, and his first reaction is just to swipe and get whatever's in front of him out of the way. And instead of paying attention to the direction of his blade like a normal warrior would, he just swiped and swung at it, and as it hits the face of the kobold, he realizes that the blade is flat up and down, and it crushes the skull in as it hits it, and just watches as the kobold drops to the ground.
So as this happens, you're crushing the skull with the flat of your blade. Kind of imagine you're going left to right with it. You actually spray a little blood to the commoner, the man that looks very bloodied already beside you. You actually get some blood all over him, and he kind of whimpers back and shrugs against his children and behind him. That being said, Steve, you're up.
All right. Watching the kobold miss Tara with its dagger attack. Silly creature. That's not how it's done.
This is how.
That's how it's done.
Oh yeah. So as you bring in this rapier, you actually find right precisely where you stabbed it in the neck previously, and decide to make a second hole in the back of its throat, right out the backside of its neck. This thing's just bleeds for a second, looks at you with eyes of saucers, and then just slowly crumples to the ground. Max.
So which one of the two by the woman continue to attack the woman? This one attacked her.
That one directly to the east.
I want to move up behind and like in between. I want to separate the two. What's the best way to do that?
You could kind of occupy the same square while you're attacking. So you can kind of say within that 5-foot square, you take this commoner and put her behind you while you're attacking.
But at the end of your turn, you have to move out of that same space.
Yeah.
Or you would have to use your action to actually move her out of the space.
But if I kill it, I can occupy the space it formerly resided in.
Yes.
That is the goal. So with that, I move up and step in front of her after she drops the on her. After she drops the dagger and ducks under the shield with both hands, I imagine the dagger is stuck in. Well, I want to come up with a blade and flourish and try and take its hand or its arm off that's stuck with the dagger and the shield.
Alrighty, roll it.
This will be two-handed, by the way.
Okay. Oh yeah, that hits.
Oh my. That oh.
That's
unfortunate.
That one hand, it would have been so much better.
Still did a good job. So you're able to come up, and she will. Actually, we'll roll it this way. She willingly moves back about 5 feet as you come up forward, so you're able to get directly in front of this thing. As she's moving backwards, you come around the side of her. The kobold actually didn't see you coming, being blocked by this slightly taller commoner. And as you come around, his hand is being dragged forward while this dagger is stuck in the shield, and you're able to bring it down cleanly with a single stroke and sever his hand off of him. And as the kobold's kind of looking at its hand in pure fear, you bring the blade around one more time and just slice right across its middle, and it falls to the ground, unmoving.
Imagine I'm doing a real hard, like double-handed, like wood chopping kind of motion. You know what I mean? Not like a real fighter, like a smooth technique, just kind of a brute force. I'm just swinging something sharp at you.
Yep, and you did it. And chopped him.
You're just trying to make something dead.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Not with any sort of finesse or real practice. I'm just naturally kind of good at this.
Alrighty. Arun, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna shift slightly so that I have like what is like the clearest line of sight between me and the guy next to him.
Okay.
So I'm gonna line up another shot and try to take him out while he's distracted by Max.
Do it. Oh yeah, that hits.
Oh,
Same thing, right? If I click damage, it'll
You click the
go up.
longbow shot.
Just click the
Click
longbow
link
shot, the
underneath
word.
the attack in the box.
No, that's what
No.
I did.
No,
just
no,
click the
click
in
the
chat
long-
box.
in chat.
Oh,
Click that.
okay. I
There
see.
you go.
There you go.
There you go. All right, so you're able to line up the shot, expertly thinning the needle between Stone Skull in front of you and Max further up, and it goes in and hits this kobold right in the chest, and you see it look down at this arrow in its chest and then fall over backwards onto the ground, unmoving.
All right, at the end of that, then I'm gonna call out last one.
Unfortunately for y'all, the last one is like, this is a bad time. We're losing. We've lost. And he attempts to move his movement away from you, gets to about here, attempting to run away. That being said, Tara, you're up next.
Let's see her. We are going to move up past all the corpses of the kobolds, and as I'm moving forward, I'm going to snap my arm up over the earth, and a sharp shard is going to just fly up into my hand. And as I reach my destination, I'm going to do kind of a 360 pirouette, and you're just going to see it gain momentum, kind of slingshotting around me towards him. Does a 10 hit?
Ooh.
This thing has its back away from you and running away, has no idea you're coming. You're going to do that with advantage. So
Advantage.
18 will hit.
All right.
Oh, yeah. So as this shard of earth, as Tara's running across the ground, she just slams her foot down and a shard of earth comes up and she launches this spike at the back of this fleeing kobold. It catches it right in the back of the spine and it collapses heavily onto its face and not moving.
Just I'll turn. Is everyone okay?
Is that it?
So you're saying that the woman's going to run down to the male human, both of them looking very bloodied now, and she's going to hug him and look back towards you and say, "Who are you people?"
Travelers to Greenest, ma'am. What's going on here?
She looks around at all the dead bodies and looks at her injured shoulder, and she says, "I don't know these bandits, these kobolds, and there's other human and other races. They just entered our city right before the sunset today, and they started looting and pillaging and killing people. We've been trying our best to run to the keep. I've ushered all my husband here. He almost died defending us, and I had to take up his spear and his shield to try to defend us. But we're just trying to make it to the keep. That's supposed to be the last bastion of hope here in the city, or in the village."
Are you well enough to travel behind us to the keep?
She looks down her arm and looks back at the man and says, we should be able to make it. We're not looking too good, but we should be able to make it.
I would kind of look up at brother, see if you can find anything of note on these fools. And kind of gesturing to the dead kobolds, laying around us.
As y'all are kind of looking at the bodies, everybody give me a perception check.
Yeah. No, not sorry.
Ugh.
All right.
Not persuasion.
Oh yeah. Let me set that up here in a second. So as y'all are kind of going around looking at everything, you actually don't see any sort of finery or sigils or anything that would designate what a group that these would belong to or anything of that nature. They seem to be just common, like bandits, hired thugs. Essentially, they have very crude weaponry, slings and daggers on them all. Very small for most of your characters because these are somewhat smaller creatures. But you don't see a lot of interest, anything of worth on them.
Okay. look to the group. I motion everyone over and realizing that Tara wouldn't be able to see me waving. Tara, over here.
Over where?
Come here.
I'm going to just try and move towards the sound of his voice.
I kind of imagine you walking just a little sideways, like not right towards me.
As I get to him, I trip over a dead kobold's corpse.
They don't seem to understand what's going on. They seem to think the keep is a bastion of hope, and I think with them being wounded and their children, right?
Yeah, there's 3 children, 1 male and 1 female.
We need to get them all somewhere safe.
And the woman pipes up. She says, "My name's Lennon. I can help guide y'all to the keep. We can get there and we should be safe."
Lennon, pleasure. The pleasure is mine. Whenever you're ready, we'll follow in.
She nods, and her husband gathers up the children, and you all proceed further into the town.
I think he meant watch your head.
No, I pat him on the back and I say, "No, friend, you got it. Good job." I'm sure. Positive.
All right, so as you proceed forward,
I'm going to, when we start moving, fall in line with Steve. Kind of over natural progression of walking, so I get next to him and just like wrap my hand around his shoulder. Say, next time you see him clumped up like that, you just breathe on him. Our heritage allows us to pack a little bit of punch.
all right, so as you progress forward, you're following their lead, even though Lennon and them are, her family are hanging back a little bit behind you, obviously for protection. You're able to move further into the town, heading presumably towards the keep. I gotta go to 3 different maps to get all the information I need, so give me one second.
Make sure I didn't lose you. I didn't lose audio. No, please. Tell me.
So as Stone Skulls begins rambling on about his sword, as you're progressing through the town, you come upon 2 humanoids and another humanoid hanging in the back behind him, seeming to be commanding these other 2. They come up, approaching you down the road, heading towards the edge of the city, and immediately they look at you, and the one in the back addresses the party and says, "Stop. Lay down everything of worth and you'll be spared."
I'm going to cast a spell against him immediately before he gets a chance to say anything.
All right, you will get a surprise round. Everybody roll for initiative.
Dang it, I did it again. I'll take the 19.
Holy shit.
We're going to go twice before they get to go.
Not so much. 2 of them rolled nat 20s. Okay. All right, so the way I do this is that we're going to skip their turns, and we're going to go in the initiative order for just the party. So, Arun, you are first. Y'all are able to move within 15 feet or so.
Sorry
That
about
was just
that,
to go
guys.
onto the map, so you can move kind of where you wanted to before battle started.
I know I
Okay,
accidentally hit mute
you
here
gotta
on
tell
my
me how
side,
something
so
works.
just let me know.
I want
Next
to
time if I
effectively
forget.
climb onto one of these buildings. These are
Okay.
like what, a one-story.
Yeah, these are all one stories. They're about 10 to 15 feet tall.
Okay, so what will it take for me to get on top of one of them? Preferably this one over here.
I will need an athletics check from you, or acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
That one. I like that one. Okay, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna move.
acrobatically go there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of casually run over there, and then gracefully, use the momentum to kind of carry me up halfway, and I'm gonna grab the ledge. So let me try that.
Yeah, you nail it. You hop right on up there.
All right, sweet. Does that consume my action?
Does not consume your action. It consumes a little bit of movement. You probably only have about 10 to 15 feet left.
Okay. In which case, I'll actually stay right there for now. So I'm gonna draw and launch an arrow at the one that spoke to us in the back.
Okay. That hits.
Excellent.
Hey Jeff, how's it going? Oh, sorry guys.
So I'm gonna think that during the commotion of us kind of running into each other, I take off immediately, knowing what I want to do, and climb up to the roof. So kind of as he's finishing his insult, the arrow's just about to land into his left shoulder.
Oh, yeah. So just as he finishes speaking, somehow the party didn't even really notice it. Arun has positioned himself on top of a roof and rains an arrow down and sinks it into his chest. This one in the back just got done speaking and actually coughs a little bit on his words as he looks down at an arrow protruding out of his chest, but he is still standing. That being said, Tara, you're up next.
Yeah, as his arrow is loosing, I'm going to walk forward here. Same earthen shard comes out of the ground, and I'm going to hurl it right at this guy right here.
All right.
I'm doing good, man. So far this
hits.
campaign's been pretty
You're
fun.
missing so many crits.
Pretty
Oh,
interesting
I know, you
to
did.
play with these individuals who've been playing for years and years, and
Only taking the
they're
first
getting
one
into their
percent.
characters, and it's fun. A lot of
Yeah, I don't know
lot of
why.
enjoyment to be had out of this one.
It doesn't no matter what with rolling with advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so earth bolt. Okay, so as you fire off this other shard of earth at it, you're able to solidly hit into this leather armor that this soldier that seems to be dressed in some very
Yeah,
dark
these
garb,
are
and
people
hits it
that
right in his chest. But
Havoc
he is still
knows.
standing. Didn't take a
And
whole lot of damage from it.
we did a one shot called Tyranny of Dragons a
Said
while
Max,
back.
you're up.
And
I'm gonna
it
lift the one who
was
took,
with a bunch of the same people,
an arrow
so it was
to
a
the
lot of
shoulder.
fun, and we decided to make it a full-time thing.
Tough words. Why don't you come and fight me? And hit him with vicious mockery. Enchant those words with magic. The taunt with magic.
Yeah, it's a lot of
And
fun
he
so far, man.
fails. So you actually kill this guy with vicious mockery.
That's the second night in a row that's happened.
As you tell him that he needs to come fight you, he looks around and his eyes go wide as he sees the form of you being a dragonborn. And as he attempts to turn and run, you actually feel the psychic connection, the psychic damage hitting him, and his ears and eyes begin to bleed, and he sinks to the ground, unmoving. Steve, you're up.
All right. You sack him with 15 feet?
Do what now?
You sack him with 15 feet?
No, you can move your full movement.
All right. Well,
I was
right
saying
here.
before battle started, you could move up to 15 feet in an area to move yourself where you wanted to start.
gonna run up to about here and then like kind of like arch my back and release a gout of flame, trying to catch both of them.
What's the DC on that?
Dex save is
Yeah, it'll be against your spell's DC essentially.
Oh, nice, man. What was it? Somebody
be
like
your-
with work or friends or something like that?
8.
8 plus proficiency plus spellcasting modifier. I think
So,
for rogues
12.
it's 12. Okay. The one to the south fails and the one to the north succeeds. So roll damage for me. 2. Oh, one's on
We'll
both
peck
of
your
them.
eyes out.
That sucks. All right, so this guy takes the full damage. So as you breathe out this gout of fire, it surrounds both of them, but almost unusually, you're used to it lasting longer, but for whatever reason, the gout of fire cuts off early and doesn't do a lot of damage to them, and they're able to stave off most of the damage from this fire.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, I have a Secret Santa coming
Anything
up
else?
here very soon for me, actually, so I'm kind of looking forward to it.
All right.
Like
Those
when you try to
go.
spray water from your mouth, but you just kind of bubbles out instead. Oh, shit.
All right. Seeing all of this going on and not being able to participate so far, Stone Skull's getting a little antsy, and he's immediately just going to kind of rush in between these two and is going to swipe towards the neck of the one to the south here.
Alrighty.
Let's see. Does a 13 hit
13 hits.
for 9 damage?
Oh yeah. So as you bring your great sword around, this guy's dusting off, parts of his clothing are on fire and such, and he doesn't see you coming. You're able to cleanly cleave right across his neck. Not quite decapitating him, but enough to leave a giant gash, and he falls to the ground, gurgling for a few moments, and then dies.
All right. And as that one falls to the ground, I'm immediately going to look over at the other one and kind of reach my arm out and kind of, taunt the other one to, is to say, come at me. You don't want this.
Alrighty. Next up, we'll be back to the top turn order. Hey, Rune.
All right. So with that and the fluid movements of the party, I'm just gonna kind of robotically just tilt myself, 5 degrees towards the one remaining guy, knock another arrow and line it up.
Oh no, we are 100% role playing this, Jeff. All of our party
14
is
hits.
very into the role play
That's 6
aspect of it,
damage.
so it's going to be a
Alright, so
very
as you let
fun
this
game to
arrow
watch.
Fly, not as much force behind it. You're kind of quickly flinging between targets, trying to take them all out. But seeing your party take the other ones out, you let it go. It hits solidly, but doesn't do enough damage to quite kill him. He's still standing. Tara.
I am going to move forward, and as I am going, I'm just going to try and finish him off with a blow to the chest.
Alrighty.
17 hit.
17 hits. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy has an arrow inside of him. He's been partially covered in flames. He's been batting out, and you just bring this maul around and crush it right into his chest cavity. He actually flies back about 5 feet, lands on the ground, just gurgling from his crushed chest, and slowly dies in a great amount of pain.
That one was mine.
I saw him first.
No, I actually.
All right. that being said, Lennon and her family comes up and just looks at it and says, "You adventurers are very proficient at what you do, but we should keep going. We should head to the keep."
I kind of call over to her and say, "I'm a librarian."
And she looks at you with a raised eyebrow and says, I bet. Yes, sure.
One thing, while I'm still up here, can I take a look around to see if, like, can I see if there's anything else down the path before we head that way?
Yeah. Give me a perception check with advantage.
20.
Alrighty. So as you're looking around, you see more of the same. You actually do see the keep somewhat off in the distance. It's still a good 400 feet or more, 400 or 500 feet away from you. But you can clearly see it out there. You actually see the portcullis of it still open, and you see random villagers running into it. Ahead of you, you see a lot of mayhem and confusion, a mixture of villagers running for cover, running to the keep, away from the keep, very confused on what they're going, or where they're going, rather. You also see dark-robed, what you assume to be cultists, running around that are dressed very much like the two figures that you saw here, with other robe-bearing entities very similar to this one, leading the charge or staying behind their soldiers and casting what you assume to be magic of some sort around various little small skirmishes. Immediately ahead of you, you don't... Well, let me see. Immediately ahead of you, and about 70 or 80 feet in front of you, you actually do see a group of guards and other black-robed figures, much like these, still on the path, walking towards you.
Okay. So I'm going to call that out to everyone and say, another small group of them approaching us about a field away. 2-3 fields away, the portcullis is open, but it's chaos and more black-robed figures causing dissent. Prepare yourselves accordingly.
So what do you want to do?
Yell at him to hop down and let's advance. Get people and these children to the keep.
With that, Lennon kind of backs off and says, we can go around them. If you see them in front of us, we can just go into the woods around them. There's plenty of pathways there.
But this way's a little more fun.
She looks at you, Stone Skull, as you say that. Fun? My husband is almost dead. I have my children with me. You can have your fun, but I'd like to get to the keep first.
With that kind of look to both of them, and the fastest way is a straight line. We'll just go through them. He could have his fun, and we'll get your husband to safety.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh,
Get it?
fancy. Fancy.
She sighs with acceptance and says, very well, we will do it your way. You've kept us alive thus far.
We won't let you or your children come into harm.
I
Safe.
hope.
Can I kind of call over to them, having their conversation, and say they're almost upon us? Might I recommend, the civilians hide inside, and the rest of us set up a small ambush?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, she can hear that, right? I mean, I'm going
Oh,
to
yeah.
kind of look up and listen to him, and nod to her and say, you should get off the path. Point over to, over here by the building, and stay put.
Yeah, it makes D&D a lot more fun. That's definitely for certain.
We're setting up ambush here, correct?
I was just thinking about getting the people off the street, and then just engaging them when they get here.
Wait, so we're leaving them behind and gonna move forward? Is that what we're doing here?
No, that's not what I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Just moving in front of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
basically,
gotcha.
To where their bodies are. Have them
Gotcha.
come to us.
I see what you're saying. Okay. I was just trying to understand what the plan was on it.
We could probably have one of them hide inside the houses, or all of them, rather.
I mean, we
y'all
can
want
jump them.
You want the villagers to go inside, hide, and then you want to set up an ambush for the approaching party?
Mm-hmm.
I would assume so, but maybe have someone quickly check the inside with them.
I'll go inside and make sure that the coast is clear inside.
You have about 15 seconds before they get there. You're not going to have a lot of time to explore it. Lennon says, we'll just hide behind the building here. And they all slip around the corner out of sight.
Okay.
Right. I'm also going to slink into the shadows off the path, if I can.
Yeah, if you're in any of those trees and everything, you're pretty much going to be hidden from view, as well as being on like the back sides of the houses or anything on the roof, or laying prone on the houses. You'd pretty much be out of sight.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay prone on the roof, like you said.
As I move behind Steve, I'm going to grab Tara and pull her with me, and just keep her like close to my back, like where you're in contact with me.
So I'm gonna grab his hand and walk next to him, kind of BioShock Big Daddy style.
Exactly.
So the important part to remember with Tara is she is a blind character.
Alrighty.
So she sees nothing. We have to guide her around everywhere.
4 black-robed figures, looking very similar to the 2 that you fought before. Instead of a robed figure behind them, you see a somewhat grizzled man walking behind them. Looks a bit tougher than the regular robed figures. He is carrying a spear, and you see multiple spears actually at the ready, and a belt across his back. But they proceed along the road looking somewhat observantly left and right, but they do not see you as they move forward to about here.
So since they are close enough, let me check distance. Yeah. I'm going to somewhat rush in, and as I get beside the one right here, I'm immediately going to say, so, do you want to hear a story about how I got my sword? And swipe at him from the trees.
Alrighty, with that, we're going to roll initiative once again. Click on your token, then click initiative, Zorn.
Do it. Oh, yeah.
That fail, though.
Yeah. It's sad. Too preoccupied escorting a blind lady.
She's gonna be the death of us. Don't step in the fire. What fire? The one you're standing in.
The fire,
Alrighty, so much like the last fight, you are going to get a bonus round, a surprise round here. So, Arun, you are up first.
I was just curious. Would I go after Stone Skull because he kind of initiated it, or? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. We'll adjust it that way. So, Stone Skull, since you initiated combat, actually, you will go first.
Okay. With that, jumping out of the tree line and just coming in, almost like with, as if he's swinging like a baseball bat and trying to swipe straight through the middle. Takes a great sword straight across his stomach. Does a 16 hit.
16 hits.
For 14 damage.
Oh, yeah. So that baseball swing, as you described it, comes around and actually slices over this man's middle. You actually have to step back a little bit as the guts and innards begin to bleed out on you, and he falls to the ground, unmoving.
Was my story not good enough for you?
And he just gurgles. And at almost the same time, Arun gets to go.
Confusion on his face.
What just happened?
To kind of build off the confusion he's causing, I'm going to take aim at this man, who I imagine is kind of like now just turning his head to see his friend falling over at the waist. 25.
Oh, yeah.
11.
So
is he alive?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna imagine like he gets, this guy gets cut through the chest, and then like from Kegthor's like viewpoint, that guy turns his head, and then an arrow just goes straight through the middle of his neck and stops there, and then he just kind of crumbles.
So as one is being just completely bisected, almost for the most part, this other guy turns to look, and the arrow flies through his neck, actually sprays blood on this poor gentleman behind him. And as it does so, the one behind, in shock, just screams, "Ambush!" But with that, Steve, you are up. Damien, you're muted.
God damn it. I'm gonna make my way still off the path, only to appear. Assuming this guy turns to watch his two comrades fall.
Give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Actually, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get sneak attack no matter what because it's surprise round.
There.
Well, you're sneaky as fuck as you're doing this.
Like get as close to behind him as I can and just slice my scimitar across his throat.
That hits.
Really?
I'm also gonna throw my scimitar away after this.
Oh, that min damage. We're gonna say, what do you get? 1d6 plus 3. Yeah, I'm gonna RP this out. So as you come out of the bushes here, bringing this scimitar around, ditching a rapier this time for the scimitar, you're able to bring it up, and as this poor gentleman is looking over to his two comrades and listening to the one behind him yelling ambush, you definitely just saw it right across his throat, and he gurgles for a second and attempts to lamely swing his sword towards you, but then falls to the ground, unmoving. Tara.
I am actually gonna step out kind of slowly, as like I'm kind of trying to sense where everyone is, and as soon as I hear him scream that out, I am going to hurl a shard of earth right at his chest
And it hits.
for some 7 piercing damage.
So as you hear this guy screaming ambush, you step out and just, lightning reaction. Send this shard of earth flying at him and hits him right in the chest. You're unable to hit quite the vital spot of his heart or any major organs, so he coughs up blood momentarily, but he is still standing. Max.
I'm thinking, like I tried to shield Tara from the road, and then watching her burst out past and sling this and hit him right in the chest. I just stand there, kind of wondering what am I even doing here? Like, what? She can see, she's fine. I'm going to kind of follow suit, with the earth shard and pull a dagger from my waist and hurl it over my shoulder.
All right. Hurling it at which one?
The same one here.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Just got in the back.
Oh, yeah, that hits. So as this cultist is looking down at this shard of earth penetrating its his chest, he immediately looks up at the very last instance as this dagger tumbles through the air and also sinks into the other side of his chest with a very heavy thunk. And he gurgles and gasps in pain and then falls backwards, dead. We're gonna
Fix the turn order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You down here. All of them are dead. All right. Hey, Ruin, you're up.
All right, excellent. Has this one remaining guy done anything, like any actions?
He's just looking very bewildered around at everybody, holding a shield up with his spear next to him and kind of starting to take a step back to move away from the carnage that just unfolded in front of him.
Okay, so following that up, then I'm gonna try to take an aim, like kind of like a thigh. I want to prevent movement.
Okay.
Nope, 25 again.
That hits.
And 11 again, okay.
Well, you attempt to okay. You attempt to aim for his thigh, or a calf muscle, trying to make it where he can't move. Surprisingly, even though you felt the shot go good, a gust of wind picks up right as you shoot, and this gust of wind actually knocks your shot just about 6 inches off, and instead of hitting him in the thigh, you actually hit him right in the center of the pelvic region. He reaches down, gasps as he looks down and sees blood curdling from his nethers, and falls forward, dead.
Oh, that's just mean.
I didn't mean to.
Why did you do this?
I'm not.
Dex is going to be so angry.
I
That was
really
too
hope
good
you're
to
all
pass up.
enjoying what I'm doing.
That was too good to pass up.
Have you been paying attention to my name?
I have.
Enemy AC 130 above.
No,
Now
no,
it's
Butters, 'cause
Butters.
I shot him in the dick.
Alrighty, so with that, you do not see any other enemies in the immediate vicinity. Even as you look around again, Arun, what do y'all want to do?
I'm gonna say the path is clear for some time. There's still chaos ahead. Let's proceed. Everyone in agreement?
Quickly, I'll go over and motion to Livian and the family. Let's move quickly.
Is there anything on this furthest body here? As he's trying to get Lennon and the rest of the people together, I'm gonna just keep searching the bodies to see if I find anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna search this one before we take off.
Both of y'all give me, anybody that wants to investigate these bodies very quickly, give me an investigation check.
Oh, Jesus, my investigation's worse on this character than the other one.
Oh yeah?
Literally a -2 on this character.
Oh, I have a 0.
So as you're rummaging around, you see various weapons, things of that nature. Stone Skull, you're able to find a piece of parchment, but as you unfold it, it's kind of covered in blood and such, and it's hard to read. But it does have some writing on it.
Does anybody read this?
What is it? What is it in?
I
Okay.
I don't.
It's just in common. It's just covered in blood.
I don't know. It's just words.
All right, then I guess I'll wander over and take the scroll. Kind of expecting something like different.
So as you're reading over this, like I said, it's very covered in blood from the very brutal way that you took out these 5 individuals. But you're able to find on there and see some broken text with bits and pieces of it ruined by the blood marring it. But you do see a few letters that you understand.
So I'll read out aloud. Attack green, I assume greenest. Secure their I'm not sure. And then it says for the what I assume to be queen. What are they trying to secure? Kind of like want to call over to what's her name, Lenon Swift, and say, "Do you know what they're talking about?"
She shrugs and says, "I'm not sure. From what we've been able to see as we were running away from those cultists, or from the marauders, we were seeing them looting more than they were attacking other people. They were going into the homes and coming out with all the valuables, all the gold, anything made of silver.
The riches.
They were getting everything out of there."
All right. I'm not sure what cultists have to do with riches, but either way, we can't let them stand.
Says Lennon, looking very impatient at this point. "May we go now to the keep?"
I'm gonna say yes.
Let's move.
Yeah, proceed. I'm going to stick in the back.
Alrighty.
Move everybody together so you can.
But there's
Plop
like
us
nothing
over.
of note on any of the bodies. I mean, nothing of like any sort of wealth or material.
No, just a lot of regular weapons and such. It seems like the ones that may have been carrying stuff have gone somewhere else and are not out looting currently.
Yeah, you got fighters and you got looters.
Willie, which one are you? Are you Max?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to put a hand on your shoulder and just say, less looted on their person means less people they found.
That's a good point. We need to stop them from finding any others.
All right. Down the road.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm adjusting all your tokens.
All right.
So while he's doing that, my notes say, fought 8 kobolds, slaughtered 8 kobolds, fight 8 dudes, straight up murdered 8 dudes.
Yeah, like
Right.
like exclusively in the surprise rounds.
Pretty much.
We're effective ambushers.
Alrighty, so as you proceed onward, you actually cross a small stream that seems to run through the entire town of Greenest. As you get to the other side, off to your east, you do clearly see across a small field the city's keep, with the portcullis open for it, with several people running inside. As you're crossing over the stream, you actually run into one more apparent villager stumbling out, looks heavily wounded. Not sure if they're going to make it all the way by themselves, but they plead for help from you, seeing you escorting other villagers towards the keep.
Absolutely. As long as you can walk on his own.
So the villager nods. An older male nods and says, "Yes, I can make it myself. If I'm attacked again, I don't think I'm going to survive."
I mean, I could carry you if you need me to, but that might slow us down a little bit.
He holds his side where he obviously has a knife wound of some sort and says, "I'll be fine, friend. Thank you." Do you want to keep proceeding onto the keep?
Yeah.
Yes.
See.
All right. So as you're moving on, you can kind of see where you've been located now. The keep is clearly in front of you. You actually see several soldiers out waving people in, and you hear them yelling, "Hurry! Hurry! We're about to close the portcullis."
I'll start kind of ushering everyone from behind, pushing them forward, up in the pace.
All right. So as the party begins ushering everybody in, a few of you staying behind to make sure that you're able to move all the way up to the keep proper, letting the group of 6 or 7 villagers that you've wrangled up, and they all make it inside, and then you all make your way into the keep itself, and the portcullis is shut behind you. So just move yourselves in there. Make your tokens a little bit smaller so it's easier to see. Alrighty. So you've made your way inside here. As you enter into the keep, hearing the portcullis slam behind you, you turn back around and observe. You see the keep is just a complete madness. Much of what you saw outside continues on within here. You see wounded and dying around you, with medics and nurses just haphazardly gathered together to try to treat the wounded. You hear fighting outside. You actually see a few of the black robed figures coming up to the portcullis and screaming inside. You see a few people here and there running around barking orders, but you do see one man who seems to be, from what you're gathering from everybody listening to him, up on the ramparts above the portcullis, shouting orders out around to the villagers and soldiers around him.
He clearly looks like he's in charge.
It would be a valid assumption to say so, yes.
I'm going to start, make kind of nod to the civilians that we escorted. That they're kind of doing their own thing. They don't need us any longer, and make my way over to him.
Okay. Lennon and her family thanks you profusely, and they go to get treated, Lennon and her husband, to get treated for their wounds, and they all huddle in a corner of the keep's grounds. As you begin to move around, heading up towards the ramparts, you actually see this very gray, older gentleman, white beard, very thick, kind of heavy set, look over towards you, and his eyes kind of bulge as he sees you. And he says, "Wait, you stay right there." And he begins running down the steps towards you. Imagine kind of the rest of the party. God damn it. The rest of the party kind of follows on Max's heels, moving around towards him to see what this gentleman wants with you. As he approaches up to you, Max, you being the first one he saw, he looks over at you and says, well met. I saw what you did out in the city from the ramparts as we were gathering everyone in here. You did us a fine service getting that family and the other villagers in here. We thank you for that.
It was my pleasure to see them to safety. What is it that's going on exactly?
Yes, that as you ask that, he puts his hands on his hips and shakes his head. He's like, "We're not sure. We don't have a lot of information. I was here in the keep when the attack by these seeming marauders started, and I've been running everything in here since. Me and Escobar." He points over to this very gruff-looking dwarf with bright red hair, running around, shaking his fists in the air, just raising a cacophony as he's running around chasing soldiers, trying to get them to do his bidding. He motions back to you and says, "We're not sure. They just seem to be coming in here. They're not pillaging. They're not killing indiscriminately. They seem to only go after the ones that are in their way, and then they just go in and take everything of value from all the houses. Many of the villagers that have returned have reported much of the same. They seem to be coming after the wealth of Greenest for some reason."
We have some common knowledge of dragons, right?
Yeah, you have some basic knowledge. Yeah.
So I kind of like to make a quip that it's not unusual for a dragon to build a horde.
And he kind of looks at you with a wry grin. He says, "Yeah, thank the gods that thing is left. It was laying siege to our town, mostly hitting the keep here. Took out a few of my soldiers. For whatever reason, that thing stopped its attack and has vanished for the moment. I pray that it doesn't come back."
Let's see. I didn't even catch your name. I'm sorry. Introductions. Max. Extend my hand.
He grins at you and says, "Yes, it's a perilous time right now. Formalities are kind of dropped. Well met, Max. My name is Tarball Nighthill. I'm the governor of Greenest. I'm doing my best to run this out-of-control situation right now, and if you'd be willing," he addresses the entire party as he says this, he says, "I could use your help with a few things."
Are these walls strong enough to protect your people?
He looks around and seems to have a bit of pride in his voice as he says, "I believe so. Nothing has broken into the keep in all the years that I've been here, even before I was governor. The keep will hold."
Then, sir, how can we be of assistance?
And says, well met. I was like, okay, there's a couple things that I haven't been able to do. I don't want to sacrifice any of my soldiers from the walls, but we need some reconnaissance done. You see, we know next to nothing. We know these people.
Milk Mike, thank you very much for the follow there. Very much appreciate it.
About them, aside from they brought this dragon with them. I'm looking to see if somebody could possibly go out there and get maybe not their leader, but another high ranker within their order and bring them back for questioning.
A higher rank in there. You kind of look around. Did we have anything? We didn't take anything of theirs, did they? Did we? Any way to know what kind of rank he's talking about?
And as you're kind of asking about that, he says, "Wait, let me show you." And he grabs your arm, Max, and takes you up onto the rampart. And as you're moving up, you actually see off to the northwest of the keep. You see a large group of soldiers surrounding one appears to be a female. and she's barking orders out to random scattered parties that run up and then immediately run away to go loot other places. He points to, he's like, that woman appears to be the leader of their operation, but she's wearing something very distinctive, and I've seen it a few other places. And he points, and you can see it kind of in the dim light, and then you see as she turns into one of the fires, she's wearing a very ornate purple set of armor. He says, it would be suicide to go after her, and that's fine, but I have seen other leaders, other people that are higher ranked in this group of marauders also wearing this purple coloring. I believe if you bring me one of them, I will be able to interrogate them and get some information.
With that, I have a way of extracting information from people as well.
Is it magic?
No. People just tend to want to tell me things.
He smiles and says, yes, I have my ways, as unsavory as they can be, but it's dire right now that we get this information. Would you and your friends be able to help us?
I smile as I turn around to the rest of them and said, thoughts?
I'll consent with a turn for a turn.
I don't know what that means.
We're gonna help him, but I want a favor in return.
He kind of peeks over the edge of the ramparts towards you and says, brave man, you've already done more than enough for us. Anything within my power I will give you. I'm just looking for more help so we can survive this night.
Oh, that sounds good enough to me. I hope we all survive. Just if you find a woman named Talus, I need her brought to me, or any clues to her location.
He scratches his beard and says, Talus, the name doesn't sound familiar, but if I learn anything, you'll be the first to know.
And with that, I kind of thank him and kind of like hold up a hand for like a rough, approximated height and say half elf. I think she has dark hair. I don't actually remember. Just like a rough description.
Okay. Yeah. He takes it and says, yes, you'll be the first to know.
All right. Then I nod.
I kind of smash my fist into my left hand and grind it in like it's stone. And as I do, the ground next to me kind of rumbles. I said, yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
So everybody down to help out the governor?
Yeah,
Flying lady's down, I'm down.
I grab Steve and I get like kind of in a big hug. Let's do it then.
And the governor looks back over you and nods his head. Thank you, my friends. He leans over around the parapet once again and screams over. He says, Escobar, I need you for a moment. As he does so, the formerly mentioned dwarf with bright red beard and bright red hair comes stomping up. Says, Governor, I am the keep shop. We have to guard these walls. I don't have time to do anything right now. He looks down at the governor looks down and says, you have time for this. I need the keys to the old tunnel. Our new friends here have a mission to go take care of. With that, the dwarf, looking slightly disgruntled, looks over at you, looks you up and down, shrugs his shoulders, and begins walking towards this larger cylinder part of the heap. As you move in there, you actually see that it's multi-floored. There appears to be a basement beneath the ground floor, and he also leads you down there. And as you move, I need to move to the right layer. You move in there, and he points over to a wall. He says, there's a few bags of grain and such, but if you move those aside, there's a old tunnel door there that leads underground and leads out to the river. It's what we planned in the past to be a place to forego sieges upon the keep. I didn't think it would be needed to sneak people out, but here we are. With that, he turns around and you see this massive ring of keys that he has on his belt loop. He pulls it off and plucks one key off and hands it over to Max, or he hands it over to Tara. It says, here, you look like a responsible one. Take it out. It'll unlock the front and the back part of the tunnel. Best of luck to you.
But she can't even see where you're telling her to put the key at.
And even as you're talking, Escobar is storming back out to his duties in the keep and doesn't hear what you say.
I help guide her hand to the key if she doesn't immediately reach out for it.
I just take it yourself. I snatch my hand away.
One second, preparing a map.
I don't think she wants to hold your hand.
Thank you, Stones.
You're welcome.
All right, so as Escobar went...
See you, Jeff. Have a good night, man.
You see a few boxes in front of this obvious gate down here. Tara's holding a key up, proffers it off to whoever wants it. You're able to shuffle the boxes aside, and you see the gate before you. What would you like to do?
I mean, I got the key. Who's got the key? Tara does.
No.
I actually throw it at the sound of Max's voice.
Just catch it. Try. What do I got to do to catch it? Can I just catch it?
Give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, why it's gotta be sleight of hand?
Because the
terrible.
blind person is throwing it at you.
Slight, like last. There's jokes there.
Very funny.
All right.
Un momento, s'il vous plaît. So you're able to somehow catch this key that's flying out wide, about 2 feet away from you, but you kind of dive forward, lunge forward, and catch it as it's flying.
Kind of like
by.
bobble it a couple times in the air, like oh.
Okay, we're good. I got it.
With that, I'll go to the lock and open the door.
Alrighty. So as you move forward to unlock this door, it gives a little bit of resistance as you go into it and attempt to open it up, but eventually it does turn all the way, and the iron door does slowly open. Doors open.
I'm gonna look. Does anyone have a torch?
I do not.
Here,
That's
I want to procure a torch.
Hold on, I'm pretty sure I've got one. I just want to. Sure.
Give me a perception check.
I've got plenty of torches.
I have a lantern.
All right, yeah. So I'll take out a couple of torches and light them and hold them for whoever wants to take one.
I'm just kind of looking around at them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take one and then start descending.
So as you start going into this tunnel, you're able to see it's very cramped. It's very tight. You're only able to go one by one down this tunnel, but it seems to lead off, and you do hear very softly. It seems a bit of ways away from you. The sounds of a stream running on the other end of it.
Okay. So we're heading outside, right? Yeah.
Outside to keep through the tunnel.
How tall is the tunnel that we're going through?
It's about 7 feet tall. It's enough to comfortably walk beneath, but it is still somewhat cramped.
Comfortable for who?
Me.
I'm gonna go to the very
I'm
back
trying
of
to
the line. I'm gonna be at the back because I'm a little taller than that. So
I'll actually lead the way.
yeah,
Tunnels don't bother
We're all
me.
pretty. We're all pretty big.
the blind leading the blind.
While we're going through the tunnel, I'm gonna store my bow and pull out my rapier.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna just hang out in the back and bring up the back here for us.
Yeah, I think Edwin should actually be leading. because we're all large and slow in this tunnel.
I'm not.
Wait, are none of you under like 7 feet tall?
No, I'm
Like 6
almost 8 foot.
Oh my lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I was saying, we're all pretty
6'7".
big. Like none of us are
I'm
getting easily through.
4'11".
All right.
You
I'll
got
follow
this.
The blind chick.
Yeah, and I'm also in a tunnel made of earth. I'm good. GG, let's go.
What is Tara's race?
She's Earth genocide.
Okay.
Tara, give me a perception check with advantage. You're not sure what it is, but something towards the end of where the tunnel seems to end, according to your senses, you seem to feel the presence of a lot of feet and a lot of movement. Almost like a multitude of creatures are moving around towards the end of the tunnel.
I kind of slow down and bring my maul up to the ready. We got company towards the exit.
Can you tell how many of them? And I kind of like hold a hand back for everyone else to quiet down.
Can I tell how many of them?
Quite a few. You're unable to put a number to it, though.
More than 2.
Precise. Is it worth doing a perception on?
It's very dark for y'all, even with the torches. They only line out to about 15 feet around the curve of the tunnel, but you don't see anything.
Mm.
I
Is that
actually,
What? You go.
I am actually thinking we could sneak up on them with a little bit of help here.
I would be fine with it. I don't have need of the torch, really, because I have dark vision.
All right, as I kind of move forward slowly, I start crouching and chant some words. And just slowly move forward 5 feet at a time here.
All right. Is everybody moving on stealthily, or what do y'all want to do?
Yeah, no, I'm following their lead.
Yeah, I'm put out whatever torch I might have still had and follow him.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody give me a stealth check then.
And then add plus 10 to all that.
I'm a ninja in the sewers.
Y'all are stealthy as fuck right now.
AF.
All right, I'm just going to keep moving forward 5 feet at a time here.
How far can we go under stealth?
You can go up to about here-ish.
Okay, I see. So we can move up to here without
Yeah,
re-stealth.
up to there,
Okay.
so without needing our stealth check.
All right, just move up to there.
So as a
I'm actually with- oh, there we go.
Tara and Arun, give me perception checks.
Am I at advantage again?
Yeah.
The blind girl.
Tara, you know that the multitude of feet of creatures is about 10 feet in front of you. You can't tell what they are because there's so many of them. A rune in front of you about 15 feet away, right where you can kind of see the gate. You see the ground kind of molding and moving in place. I can't quite tell with the darkness what exactly it is, but something is definitely down there.
And you said they're about 10 feet in front of us?
About 15 feet.
So I'm just trying to get like an accurate picture. You're saying like I'm seeing like the dirt of like the ground basically moving a little bit?
With the shadows and everything flickering out with the torches, even with your dark vision, it almost seems like the ground is convulsing and moving around. It's just constantly shifting and changing places and moving up and down. It's like something is just rolling over the ground down towards the end.
All right. So I'll kind of just like, well, actually I can't tell. Does everyone else still have a torch lit? Like, can they see, or are they just kind of following us?
I'm at the back and I don't have a torch.
Also, no torch.
I'm just following the group in front.
I have a torch.
Okay. So I mean that's enough light. Then I'm just gonna kind of put my hand, like point just ahead of us, and then point at the ground and kind of like just sift my hand through the dirt a bit to give you an idea of what I'm saying.
Was that a skill check for us to understand what he's saying?
Like an insight check.
Probably insight. Yeah.
Yeah.
For what now?
He was motioning at the ground, trying to let us know that he sees something. Should we insight check that to see if we actually can tell what he's trying to tell us?
No. I'm going to whisper very, very quietly to the group that there's a lot of squeaking. The ground is moving. There's rodents. I hate rodents.
So you all understood from Arun that he was pointing at something ahead of you. Kind of got the feel that it was a multitude of somethings, and now Tara is telling you that it sounds like the sounds of rodents.
And Stone Skull's gonna tap the shoulder of Max and say, "Oh, what did he say?"
Rats.
Oh, I hate rats.
What do y'all want to do?
Not have an epic first two fights and then die to some rats.
I don't want to collapse the cave.
I'll just unsheath my the antagonist and step forward, just like kind of shouldering my way through. I'll take care of it.
I'm going to duck between its legs and let him by.
Wait, your weapon is called the antagonist?
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's badass.
Thank you.
All right. Party willing. Max can move to the front.
Yep. Take a step back
as
there.
As he moves by me, I'll give him a nod.
As he nods, I'm gonna reach my hand on his back and like pinch like the base of his neck and like pull him along right next to him.
No, motherfucker, you're coming
It's
too.
us. Yeah, it ain't just me. It's us.
So as you two get closer, y'all give me perception checks.
Oh, what did they do?
So Steve, as you move forward, kind of grumbling about being drug along by Max here, you clearly see the form of a lot of rats in front of you. They don't seem to have noticed you quite yet, but they are, in fact, there. What do you want to do?
I'm going to grip my sword with both hands, and kind of take like a crow step, like a baseball step, and just come in and try and drag it off the ground and swing through the closest one to me, like a golf swing. Try and hit as much of the mass as I can.
All right, roll it.
Yes,
Unfortunately, you miss.
I did.
Rats.
And with that, everybody roll initiative.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, come on.
Ooh.
I mean,
That is
y'all are
unfortunate.
like 7 foot tall in a 6 foot tall tunnel.
Literally
That is
I'm-
pretty funny though. That
yeah.
all of us rolled terrible. Like, can't move real good.
The death by rats thing was a joke. You know that, right?
We're not actually gonna die here, okay? Please, let's not die here.
Alrighty, that being said, as Max takes a step forward and swings towards these rats, they kind of instinctively scurry around his blade as it scores against the ground. Arun, you're the first to see this. What do you want to do?
You mean seeing like the rats start to scurry around?
Scurry
his
towards
blade?
everybody.
Can I? Like, I'm just trying to make sure I'm using the space correctly. Can I like get in beside him in the tunnel, like right there or so?
You can do that for the purpose of attacking, but you will not be able to stay there after doing so.
Okay. Yeah, because my thought is I'll have I have my rapier out and I'll pull out my shield, and then I wanted to kind of like try to stay more towards the front.
You could certainly step around him.
All right. Yeah. So I'll step out in front and kind of take like a lunging stab at the nearest one, and then back up afterwards.
All right, roll it.
Oh, actually, perfect timing. So as I do that, I'm kind of gonna kick up a small wind that like wraps around, starting at my feet, and then travels like a strong breeze, traveling up my body and then around the rapier, and it kind of disperses towards the rat when I take a stab at it.
Okay.
Is that
18
short
hits.
rest?
All right. Okay, so it's 6 damage, and if it moves before the end of my next turn, it takes 1 more thunder.
Okay. You were attacking this one down here?
Yep.
All right, so as you... it doesn't do anything extra this turn. Okay, so as you bring the rapier around, you just see these scores and scores of rats, upwards of 50 or 60 between these two kind of clumps of them. And you bring this blade around with your rapier and stab it in there, and you're able to clearly take out a few of them with your single slash. But there are still a lot of them alive in there. That being said, Tara, you're up.
I'm going to hold my hand up to like the side of the tunnel wall. You're going to hear a loud crack as a earth bolt comes out of the side of the wall. And I'm going to hurl it at this rat down here. Man, these rolls for me tonight.
So much like Max's attack, the rats kind of instinctively move around your attack and dodge it as they kind of split the group between them and let it attack harmlessly between them. That being said, this one is going to move. This kind of group of rats is going to charge at Max. And doing so, they're going to take a point of thunder damage from that booming blade. So a cacophonous kind of slashing sound radiates out as this thunder damage hits the target. But that being said, you're going to have multiple rats jumping up to try to hit you, Max. Does a 19 hit?
It does.
So as these rats begin to scurry up on top of you, you feel them just gnawing at your skin, and you actually take 7 points of piercing damage. This other one is going to move forward and kind of converge with the other set of rats and reach out towards Arun and attempt to bite into you.
Oh, fun.
I hope everybody is enjoying the stream.
All right, so this other
Something new, something different.
or this other clump of rats kind of lunges at you, but you're able to kind of bat them aside as they do, and they kind of retreat behind the other clump of rats back over here. Steve, you're up.
I know this.
I'm gonna reach into my
Everybody's kind of getting a little comfortable with each other, but so far the roleplay's been pretty fantastic. Hope you guys are gonna enjoy it. These guys have been playing for years, so it's honestly it's awesome for me to be able to play with them.
Give me a ranged attack.
to be able to stream it for all of you to watch and kind of see how it's, you know, playing out for us. Plus, it's a lot of fun. Everybody here is having a good time and enjoying themselves, so I'm happy to have all of them here with us as well. If you haven't already done so, if you're not following us and you would like to, click the follow button. We will be having more and more D&D coming up in the very near future. We have D&D Sunday every Sunday. Now we have this with Tyranny of Dragons every Monday.
All right, so as you throw this flask,
we
of
also
oil,
have
it actually shatters right on top of this frontmost swarm of rats, and comes down and covers them all in this very somewhat noxious in your confined quarters. Oil smell spreads around you, but they are covered in oil now.
And then on top of those games, we also have our D&D Civil War coming up.
What was that?
Every other Saturday and every other Wednesday we'll have a Civil War game. Basically, there are two parties, both trying to build themselves up to be as powerful as possible and then fight to the death at the end of the campaign. So if it interests you, like I said, give us a follow and stick around because we got a lot of D&D coming up soon.
As a quick recap, the oil landed where?
Pretty much dead center on this group of rats right in front of you that just hit you and bit you all
I
over.
attacked with my sword with two hands, so I'm guessing I had to drop my my torch. So I am just going to try and step back. As they attack me. I just feel I'm cutting into me left and right, like really getting deep. So I'm gonna start backing up. As I do, I'm charging my hand full of positive energy and channeling it down into my legs. There we go.
All right, roll it for healing.
Oh, come on, one. Take 4 back, and I'm going to move.
You should have more than a 1 for your spellcasting ability modifier. Should be plus your charisma score.
Wait. Spellcasting. Nice. I was just doing like
yeah,
awesome.
no, it's
So 5, 3 plus 7 total. Huh? Nice.
Yeah,
Take
heal up
that.
7.
I think you can try drop that into your spell slots too. So we'll
You can.
have it as a roll.
Nice. I'm absolutely gonna do that.
All right, so you're kind of
I'm just backpedaling. As they bite in, it's like, oh crap! You just back up, like it's too much.
okay. Alrighty, Stone Skull.
not really being able to see anything that's going on. I am actually just going to spend this turn. I'm gonna use Second Wind and get some health back.
Nice.
And yeah, that's literally all I can do. I can't do anything else. I can't move forward because I'm going to be too big to occupy anybody's space. So,
Alrighty. Arun, back to you.
Staying defensively, I'm gonna basically try to stay as I was. Like I'm gonna channel that booming energy again and take a stab at the grouping of rats closest to me to try to like ward them off from moving.
Roll it.
Yep. Ooh, no, that is a nat one.
All right, so Everybody agreed on the crit fail table.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I need a D100 from you, please.
Very good. 77.
7. All right. So
Whatever you do, do not roll 90 or above.
Yeah.
Trust
Don't do
me.
it.
Don't
Only
do
bad
it.
things up there.
I once took Havoc's hands from him. He wants to pay me back.
There's only darkness at 90 above.
So,
I miss
Arun,
Charlie.
as you're holding your shield up very defensively and lunging out with this booming energy, unfortunately, as you lunge forward, you actually lunge past this group of rats, and as you do so, they use their reaction to attack you.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Does an 11 hit?
No.
All right, so you're able to ward off once again these rats as they attack you as you overreach into their area, but you're able to get away with you without taking any damage. But you do miss your attack.
Yes.
Tara,
I'm gonna reach my hand forward and call back the earthen shard, and kind of sling it around my body, and fire it at the one on the right here.
a hit.
I imagine that just kind of like skewering 3 rats sticking into the wall.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
it goes through and
Didn't mean to hit
skewers a
that mic
couple
there.
and knocks a couple other with the kind of force of the damage, kills them as well. But there's still a lot of these rats in here. That being said, this one is going to move forward up a little further, kind of spreading out between the 3 of you. But it's going to look at Arun, who just dodged its attack, and is going to attempt to swarm over you. Does an 11 hit?
Another 11?
Let's see. Yeah, another 11. Didn't hit last time. So,
No.
once
It
again,
did this time.
these, yeah, it's like, no, it hit. Just sorry. These rats begin to swarm around your legs, trying to crawl up your body, but you're able to definitely use your weapon and your shield to kind of knock them away off of you, and they clump back down at your feet. That being said, you've kind of put yourself in a bad place where only this one can only attack you. So the second group of rats is going to do the same. And it rolled a 4, so it's also going to do that, but you're just
Listen,
slapping these things away.
I am a strong, independent high elf, okay? And I don't need no dragonborn protecting me from no pack of rats, but please kill them.
All right, Steve, you are up.
All right. Seeing as how the ones that I doused are closer, tinderbox, try and light on fire.
All right, so you're gonna attempt to use your light, kind of light up a match or something with your tinderbox and throw it on them.
Yeah.
All right, give me another. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Good at those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you are. All right, so you are able to deftly raise this match, this bit of tinder up in the air, and flick it over onto this group of rats in front of you. And as the fire makes contact with the oil that is covering them, it actually goes up in flames. I need all 3 of you to give me dex saves, please. All 3 of you in the front: Arun, Steve, and Max.
I'm good though.
Dex save. Ugh.
Yeah, you gotta believe it.
All right, so y'all kind of knew it was coming, so you were able to kind of. One second. Zorn's internet dropped, so he's rebooting right now.
Yep.
Y'all were able to see this coming. You kind of knew the plan after you smelled oil covering these rats that were attacking you, so you were able to just barely step away from it and dodge behind it, not take any fire damage. Roll me a D10, Steve.
And thus the first deep-fried rat was invented in the land.
And thus it became a delicacy celebrated every year.
Rat in a stick, famous in Greenest.
Yeah. The greenest has the bestest rat on a stick is.
All right. So as this flame begins to converge over this group of rats, you see several of them just dying off. You actually get the whiff of barbecued meat beginning to go across your nostrils. But
You had,
it's,
barbecued sewer rat.
Mhm.
the attack seems to be pretty effective against them, actually.
I'm gonna improvise for Zorn and just say he's like, "Who's cooking?"
We'll cooking something. All right. That being said, Max.
Um. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Is there any way to get to the other side of these guys without them murdering me?
As long as you don't move out of their threat range, you'll be able to move through them.
You can move to like right here,
Mm-hmm.
and as long as you don't go to like here, you don't. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I just want to get on the other side. I don't want to get more space.
But the one in front is on fire currently. So if you're gonna move through that group of rats, I'm gonna need another dex save from you.
I forgot to tell you, there's still fire there.
You know what? I'm good on that though. I'm not worried about fire too much.
Okay.
I'm gonna go across.
Rolls
Mid
of
dex
one.
save. All right, yeah, you nailed it. You're able to kind of like light foot it through there, kind of jumping over this group of rats and move around to the backside of them.
Nice. From there, I'm going to, kind of just take a swing at this one here. Hit it for whatever it's worth.
16 hits.
Nice.
Oh yeah, good hit.
Man, why am I getting all the good rolls? The bad side, no, whatever. 8 damage. I imagine just kind of swinging low and trying to take another chunk out of the group.
All right, so as you bring your long sword around, once again, you're able to bring it into him and actually hit him this time. And you cleave a few of them in half, but there's still a lot of them in this group. It hasn't been nearly as damaged as the other group, and they are still going.
Nice.
Stone Skull.
Well, I've been in the back of this the entire time. I can't move. Why the hell are we stopped?
Stone Skull is very confused on what is going on here. Shouting, he sees some fire up there now, but he does not have any room to really squeeze up in there and figure out what's going on.
Can I just return back? Get up here.
I would crush the blind one if I come up there.
Yeah, Stone Skull's a little bit too big to move between everybody.
I'm literally the size of the cavern we're in. I'm ducking to fit inside of this thing. There's no way I'm getting anywhere.
Need to come this way. It widens down here.
That's all I can do. I just shouted at the party, wondering why the hell I'm standing in the back and waiting for the party to move.
All right, can't go nowhere.
Yeah, Stone Skull is kind of stuck back there right now. Maybe something will open up soon. A room.
All right. I'll stab again at the weaker group of rats. Yeah, the one closer to the rest of us, right?
Yep.
One's on fire.
Yeah, just try again. 10.
10 hits.
Oh, thank God for rats. 9 piercing and 3 thunder if they move.
All right, so as you bring your rapier around once again, you're able to skewer quite a few of them this time. You actually see you've reduced their number about half, a little bit under half now. And more of them now are kind of scattering away from you, dodging around you instead of coming towards you to attack. But you're able to score a clean hit and kill a few of them.
So I kind of like, because it's a rapier, right? I'm like skewering like the individual rats down the length. So
Yeah,
I'm kind of like holding the shish kebabbed meat back towards Steve. Like, you want some of this?
That's
No.
gross.
Goddamn heathen.
All right. Tara, knowing that there's still a lot of them up there, is going to let me bring up his character sheet here. Is going to launch another earth bolt towards the ones closest to her. Unfortunately, with a 9, it does not hit. It sells wide and actually cracks against the road.
We found the AC puzzle.
Solved it. All right. That being said, the sword in the front, not happy with you. The swarm is going to once again go after you, Arun. Does a 6 hit?
No, get out of here.
Yeah. So just batting them away. They're on fire. They're kind of like going in there. Oh, actually, they need to make a dex save.
I lit them on
'Cause
fire. and
They
he's-
failed.
off at
All
you.
right. So actually, this group of rats is going to disperse as more of them are on fire. They start to lunge towards Arun, but unfortunately, the fire is taking out their numbers, and they just immediately start running beneath your feet and running away and scattering into 1s and 2s. And just so you
Great
can see that you
words.
have room to move now. The other one, however, knowing that Max just reached around to attack it, is going to attempt to swarm over you. Does a 15 hit?
It does.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right, so this swarm, once again, is going to start covering your legs and going up your body, up to your torso, just gnawing into your skin. And they're going to deal 4 piercing damage to you.
I don't like rats.
That being said, Steve, you're up.
I don't like rats. They're coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
Gets everywhere.
All right. You know what? Worked well the first time. The other flask of oil would be hurled at that group.
All right, give me another range attack. So
Oh.
unfortunately, this time, hands are beginning to kind of sweat and such from being in
That's
this current
funny.
space and definitely moving around the attacks and everything, and the fire heating up the room. Unfortunately, the flask actually slips out, flies past them, and lands over in this area, shattering on the ground, leaving oil traces all over the place there.
That is. Yeah, that is not good.
All right, Max, you're up.
I don't really. I've been searching for things to do here. I am struggling, so I am going to. I can't believe I'm going to use this on rats.
Damn.
I am.
There's nothing I can do.
So as they hurt
I'm
me,
so screwed.
I start bleeding again. I put, turn my sword upside down and put both hands over it and kind of channel positive energy through my entire body. And cast heroism.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hang tight. Prepare for they'll launch a salvo.
Alrighty. Stone Skull still kind of chilling in the back. You do see somewhat of a pathway up in front of you, however.
Well, if there's enough room, let me see.
I would say that Tara can move out of your way and
Enough to get through.
Yeah, you'd be able to squeeze up, even all the way up to here in between Arun and Steve. You're kind of buffering them out of the way, but you'd be able to squeeze up there. Just so you can kind of.
Can I move to there? Will that work?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
You're standing on oil.
Okay.
Just in case you need to know.
That Stone Soul has no idea that there's oil there. So now that he's there and he's frustrated and he's angry that people weren't moving, he's just gonna start just swiping at everything in front of him. And with a 14 to hit,
14 hits.
hits for 15 slashing damage.
All right, so as you bring this greatsword around, you're able to cleave a few of them out of the way, and you kind of brush the blade aside a few others and knock them to the side. There's a little bit over half of what originally was there still present in this swarm of rats, but they're still going.
And now that he's gotten to the other side, he's trying to calm himself down and says, "Can we finish the damn rats now, please?"
Well, Arun, can y'all?
I was wondering when you would come up for some barbecue.
Oh, there's food?
Nope, not me. 9.
That's a big negative on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I pull back a little too
I mean,
soon
we're
because
still
I'm a
working
little
on
worried
it.
about now hitting the giant man in the tunnel.
Right. The dude's occupying the whole end of it now.
All right, so your attack misses. Tara is back up.
Had it loaded.
All right. So as Tara once again winds up another earth bolt out of the wall and sends it flying towards there, it actually makes contact this time, doing a little amount of damage to it. It kills a few of the rats, but they are still going.
What the hell?
37 gigabytes. What that?
All right. That being said, this one now seeing a new target with Kegtor coming forward is going to turn around towards you and attempt to swarm over you.
Okay.
Does a 21 hit?
Oh, 21 does hit.
All right. So not as many as previous, but there are quite a few of them still begin to swarm over you that you take 5 piercing damage as they begin gnawing on you. Steve, you're up.
All right. Definitely not starting a fire now. I don't think.
I mean, it's still a thing you can do.
I could, but this isn't an evil game, so I'm just gonna use the rapier.
All right. 24 hits. I'm not gonna say you get. Nah, you're not gonna get sneak attack on
I didn't.
a swarm.
The swarm.
So you're able to, much like Arun, skewer a few of these rats. There's not a whole lot compared to what it first started with left of them. Once again, they're kind of looking like they're ready to flee and run away with the few number there are. Max just, I'm doing this again. I think.
The preemptive longsword.
Oh, wait, hold on. Who's happening? I'm going to let out again an over sharp whistle at Stone Skull. That's louder than it should be, but it brings a level of alertness. And give him 1 bardic inspiration die.
All right. Do you have a description of that typed up, or?
No, I don't think so. It's just kind of. I don't think I can select it. No, it's just there. I guess. I didn't really. There's.
It's what is it? A 1d4?
D6.
D6. Okay.
Yeah, it's any attack roll, ability check, attack roll, saving throw.
There you go.
You can use it anytime in the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right, there you go. So you
You
bonus, right? Yeah.
you can use it, but you can't apparently not before. You don't know if before the resolution happens.
Yeah. After you see the roll, but before I say whether something hits or if you failed or succeeded or whatever.
Yeah.
And that is a bonus action, and I will take my action to now with a new wave of vigor attack these things. Yeah.
That hits.
Come on, I'll let the damage for once for the two-handed be better than one hand.
It was taking way too long for 55 megabytes.
And they're the same.
Uninstall and reinstall.
Bam.
All right. So with that hefty damage, you're actually able to cleave through most of the remaining rats, and the rest actually scatter and run away, much like the other, and it is gone.
But with that, I'm gonna kind of put my wait. Take my health. You kind of fall to a knee and look at like, I hate rats.
They hate you.
Is this what was stopping us the entire time?
Yes.
Stone
Goes
Skull
on fire.
walks off, walking over to the whatever it is that looks like it's blocking our way. It's blocking our way.
Yes, there is as you turn back away from the rats and the smoldering bits of fire and charred rat smell filling your nostrils, you do see further down, right past where you originally ran into the rats, you see another gate with a lock on it.
Is the gate very hefty?
It's fairly thick. You know, it's got more than thumb-sized wrought iron. You can see through it, so you can see out to what clearly is the stream outside of it, and water's kind of lapping up against the bottom of the gate. But it's pretty hefty. It would be a little hard for it to be broken down, but possible.
Roll all of the 20s.
No, I've got the key, right? I just pull it out and like kind of jab Stone Skull on the side with it here.
And he grabs it and kind of looks at it for a second, figures out that it's meant to be used on the gate, and unlocks, opens the gate a little bit, steps out, getting fresh air. No?
Yeah,
No.
it's trapped.
So-
you take a lightning bolt, suck it.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Nah, I'm good.
As you're attempting to turn the key in this gate, give me a dexterity check.
Hmm.
Does he still get plus 10?
Nah.
Yeah?
It wouldn't have mattered.
Wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, that is unfortunate. So, as for whatever reason you gave the Goliath this
Meathead.
small key, and as he reaches up and says, "Oh yeah, this goes in here," and
Right.
turns it, he actually puts entirely too much force into it and breaks the key inside the lock.
Angrily, Stone Skull immediately bashes his sword against the fence, trying to break it open, trying not to let the group know that he just broke the key.
Give me a strength check as you do so.
No.
So as he angrily punches / slams the hilt of his sword into the gate, the entire thing just snaps open and flies out into the water. He just completely demolishes it.
I gave you the key.
The gate ate the key. What did you want me to do?
Kate ate the key. Just stand up, looking over. What?
What are y'all doing up there? Let's go.
No. Come on, Tara. Mind your feet. There's the gate on the ground.
I'm loving that. Oh, the key broke. Heel
And
boot.
also, oil right here. Go around.
Why do I
Right
smell
here.
oil?
Shh. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
So, as everybody exits out after making one of your party making a lot of noise, you hear hushed voices right before you hear someone in a commanding voice yell, "Get them!" As a
Yay.
group of enemies
Ooh.
appears around you and ambushes you. They will get a surprise round on the party after we take about a 5-minute break or so.
What?
Fine.
Dun,
All right.
dun.
You heard the
Find
man.
out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Can wait, we just like left a gate and now we're getting swarmed. I want some like Helm's Deep music.
I'll change the music in a second. Potty breaks, whatever you need to do.
Yep.
Let's go ahead and take care of that real
I'm
quick.
not even.
All right. You heard the guy. We're taking us a short 5-minute break. We will be right back as soon as we finish our break. Swagfish, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciate it. We are about to go back live here in just a second. Everybody's getting back from the break. We will jump into our game and hopefully we'll take these guys down immediately. Hopefully. All right, whenever everybody's ready, let's do it.
Willie, are you here?
Come on. Yeah, I'm here. It would unmute.
All right.
Yeah.
So, as I said, with this cacophonous noise and racket that Kegthor did, and with nobody really attempting to hide any kind of sound, even though that everybody knows that the entire city or village is being attacked, unfortunately, there was a group patrolling this area and heard you and hid themselves in the bushes surrounding, and then were prompting an ambush upon you.
Yay.
So, that being said, they are going to get a shot on you. So, let's see. This guy's going first. A sling shot is going to come after you, Steve. Does a 13 hit? Damien.
Yes. Sorry, my roommate was young.
Does a 13 hit?
No, 13, no.
All right. So as a sling rock comes flying in, you're able to kind of sidestep it, even though you were not ready for that attack. But that being said, the one right next to it is also going to launch a rock at your head. Does a 17 hit?
No.
Just tell him no. Yeah.
Yes,
The answer's no. The answer's no.
Keep telling me no. Your AC is permanently lowered by 4.
Oh.
So
Yes,
as this this rock comes flying in, as you're dodging the other one, and unfortunately you're unable to get out of the way of this one in time, and it hits you in the face for 4 bludgeoning damage. This one up top, as Kegthor comes marching out of there, is going to launch a rock at you. Does a 10 hit?
Does not.
All right, so you're able to watch as it kind of flops on the ground as it notices your very large size, and it lost all power in its throw.
That's 1.
That being said, this cultist back behind the other one is not nearly as and is going to bring he's going to step up towards you, Kegthor, and bring a scimitar around on you. Does an 11 hit?
Does not.
All right, so he also is unable to connect with you. You're able to definitely kind of parry with your greatsword.
That's 2.
Skip. This shot's going to come in from one of the ones on the western bank towards Max, another slingshot. Does a 13 hit?
Oh crap. That's right. This whole
80,
thing
yeah.
This whole thing is a bonus
Really?
round
Yeah,
for them.
Oof, that sucks. All right, so as this other shot comes in, the rock actually catches you right on the back of the head since you were not prepared for it and deals 5 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Kind of sucks.
This other cultist is going to reach around towards you, Kegthor, as well with his scimitar. And he rolled a 5. That is not going to hit you, so you're able to parry it as well.
That's 3.
Just seeing you dodge everything, this kobold up in the top right is going to also sing a sling at you because he likes hearing you count. Does a 14 hit?
Does not.
Damn! Wait, does it not really?
What comes after 3?
5.
That's 5.
And the last one, the one right in front of Kegthor, is going to bring out his dagger and go after him. And he rolled a 2.
I can't count this high. Stop attacking me, damn it.
4.
Oh, dear. Wow, that was a shitty surprise round. All right, that being said, y'all rolled really low. Mostly. All right, except for Steve. Oh wait, what's your dex score, Steve? It's more than +1, isn't it? Or +2?
Yeah. I got a +3.
You're top of the turn order, not them. You're up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steve.
Go, Steve, our hero.
Duck back in the tunnel.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm ducking back in the tunnel.
Anything else?
You
Nope.
get it. All right.
All right, so
Ah.
Steve tactically retreats back into the tunnel, avoiding all of these attacks. That being said, you were very clearly visible as you did so. So these kobolds are going to wrap around, kind of stepping into this very shallow water. This first one is going to attack Max with a dagger. Does a 16 hit?
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yes,
But
it
you're...
is.
Oh, okay, cool. So he brings this dagger around and catches you off guard as you're recovering from being hit from those slings. And only deals 1 piercing damage to you. Oof. All right. That being said, this next one's going to come around, move further into the stream with a clear line of sight towards Aaron and Steve, and is going to attempt to hit the one retreating, Steve, with a slingshot. Does an 18 hit?
Yeah.
All right. So a rock comes flying into the room and hits you in the back of the head for 3 bludgeoning damage.
You guys just need to start dodging things a little better.
Have you tried wearing like heavy armor?
As Kegor was
Yes.
saying about dodging, another kobold sends a sling at his head. There's a 15 hit.
No.
Jesus. Gonna hit you eventually. All right. Max, you're up. You're not looking so hot, friend.
No, I'm not.
I will say it's been a very short amount of time since the end of that fight. Your thingy is still going. Your
Oh, nice.
heroism
Okay,
or
cool.
whatever.
Bardic inspiration?
Oh, heroism? Oh, shit. I forgot.
Heroism.
I did forget about that.
Am I? All right. I've already used second wind. I'm going to take that away.
I should have to make concentration checks for that, though. Let's see. It's Constitution saves, right? I'm taking damage twice.
Let's not worry about it for that because I completely forgot about it.
Okay. Yeah. Then I will. I'm gonna, with 2 hands, launch out and attack the one that's right in front of me in the shallow water.
All right.
Yeah.
That hits.
That's more like it.
Oh, yeah. So you just, excuse me, you are pissed. You're getting picked on. You're almost like going down.
Yeah.
You feel this burst of heroism coursing through your vein, giving you more energy. And as you do so, you bring it over your head, just 2-handed style, and just cleave this thing clean in half. And it falls to the ground, bisected.
Excellent.
That being said, this one is still wailing away at Kegthor. This time the cultist. Does a 22 hit?
Finally.
All right, so he brings his scimitar around and does freaking 3 damage. But still, he hit you.
Which one was that?
One to your northwest, right above
Okay.
Terra. Speaking of Terra, your turn.
I'm going to bring my maul out, and the ground is going to kind of shudder beneath me. And then I am going to hit this guy, hopefully right in the chest, who is right here.
Unfortunately,
God, I hate being
that
blind.
misses.
I hate being blind. Yes.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, this last kobold on the west is going to also move down. And seeing a rune inside there, not taking any damage, is going to send a slingshot at you.
Bring it.
There's a 15 hit.
No.
So he shoots the sling in there, but you're able to. You still have your shield and rapier out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're able to bring your shield up and easily block the rock that was flying at you.
I was just kidding. Don't bring it. Please don't bring it.
Unfortunately, this other cultist in front of you is also swinging his scimitar towards you. Does an 18 hit.
Yep.
So he brings this thing around and scores right across your chest, doing 3 damage to you. Slashing damage.
Boop. Getting closer.
Getting rough. Oh, shit. All right. So this other kobold is going to move up a little bit and is going to ready its sling towards Terra. It's a 14 hit.
Nah.
Nah.
All right, so you're able to easily somehow see where it's going. You're actually looking around to see what Kegthor is screaming at. So as you turn your head, you actually accidentally dodge this rock flying towards you. That being said, Kegthor, you're up.
Angry that both the cultists directly in front of me have now hit. Kegthor is just gonna jab his sword straight through the chest of the one directly in front of him.
Yeah, he
There
is.
he is.
All the way through, like to the hilt. Like the crossbar is just stopping at his chest.
And he kind of looks down at it, looks back at you, and then just slowly falls backwards, sliding off your blade.
And that is my turn.
All right, well, this guy just saw his buddy die, so he's going to move back a few steps. As he moves back, Kegthor, you get an attack of opportunity.
Same thing. This time, as the sword falls, or as the guy falls off the sword, he sees the other guy, and he's just gonna try to swipe him quickly as he goes by. A 10 to hit?
Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to connect with that.
All right.
Oh, bardic inspiration.
Ooh, too late though. I've already called. He's already called
roll
it.
Roll it. Y'all need the help.
Perfect.
Ooh.
16 hits.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're
Oh,
able
yeah.
to slide right through this thing, and you feel the normal resistance of bone as you go across this thing's chest cavity is just not present for whatever reason. You just slide through his chest like butter and cleave him across the chest, and he falls over, just writhing in pain, and then dies.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that being said, Aaron, you're up.
Sweet. I'm gonna rush towards the ones in the river
Okay.
and attack the one directly below me there.
Move that body out of the way. 12 hits.
All right, 5 piercing.
You were hitting this one?
Yep.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, so you bring the rapier in, and actually with your forward momentum, you actually expected to kind of wound it a bit with the shot, but you actually pierce straight into its heart, and it looks down at the blade as it starts to fall off of it, staggers for a few steps, and then collapses.
Oh, as it's collapsing, the boom goes off and sends its body kind of like skittering into the water.
Just skitters off another 5 feet, and you're like, ooh, oh, that was cool.
You gotta imagine I'm like, like I'm still like surprised he's dead.
Critical. Yeah.
Where are these guys' hearts again?
I did it.
Right where you stabbed, wherever that was, that's where it is.
I'm like taking notes.
All right, Steve, you're up, buddy.
All right. Seeing some of them fall, gonna appear and huck a dagger at this kobold.
All right.
You gotta remember that you don't have a vagina.
Holy shit.
Instead of throwing a dagger.
Oh yeah, there you go. Baby stab. Oh, into the ocean.
Unfortunately, as you throw this, you're still your head's still kind of ringing from that rock going against the back of your head, and unfortunately, it kind of sets your aim off, and your dagger crashes harmlessly into the water below the kobold's feet.
Steve, if you're looking to kill something, you need to actually hit it.
I think he was trying to catch dinner.
Oh, are there chickens in the water?
No duck.
Imagining a
The
fish
duck.
floats
The
up
duck.
with
As Haroon's kind of laughing and Steve's very disgruntled about a failed throw, this kobold's going to take the opportunity down to the southeast of Arun and attack him with a dagger.
Bring it.
Does a 10 hit?
No, sir.
Well, he tried to bring it. He failed. Let's see. This one to the north of Terra, this kobold up here is going to rid a sling and sling it towards Terra. Does an 11 hit?
It does not.
So once again, as you feel this thing lunge, you recognize that it's shooting another missile at you, and you kind of just sidestep nonchalantly, and you're kind of like, I hope I'm dodging it, and you somehow do. All right, Max, you're up.
I'm going to take a step up. Can I go up the hill like that? I'm not trying to be in the tunnel.
Yeah, you can climb up on the side of the hill.
What color armor are these guys wearing?
As far as the...
Are they wearing purple armor? I'm asking if they're wearing...
Oh, no, it's two of the more very dark, like blackish clothing.
I just want to make sure before we murder face these guys that we
Oh,
don't
yeah,
want
yeah.
to need to save anybody.
No, I'm going to make it very obvious.
So...
Yeah, that's going to hit.
Uh-huh. That kill it?
Oh, yeah.
That's juicy.
Yeah, so, as I come across, it's going to be, instead of like an overhand swing, instead I'm going to reverse the blade, and then just try and like step through, like I'm just, again, trying to just shove the end of this piece of metal right through his chest. And as it hits and connects, I'm going to drive backwards and through the ground, basically hitting him up off his feet and then driving him and pinning him to the ground with the hilt of my sword.
Oh, yeah. And with your much larger size and stature, you're able to easily do this feat and just drive it through. He kind of chokes for a second with this blade going through his innards and then slides down slowly down your blade until he finally meets the ground.
Yeah.
I'm going to step over his corpse and take aim at this kobold here.
There's only one up, right?
No,
there's
two.
a couple up.
3.
Oh my god. Come on.
Unfortunately, once again, you were
Same roll.
just short of connecting with this kobold.
It's almost like she's blind. She can't even hit the one in front of her.
I am blind.
Oh.
Well, this one in the very back up here to the north is seeing you attacking this other kobold is going to bring a sling around towards you, Terra. Does a 12 hit?
Nope.
All right, so you're able to, as you're swinging, the weight of your maul kind of knocks you off step just enough to where you dodge the attack that was meant for you. Kegthor.
Well, another one needs to die. So, Kegthor's gonna just slice right into the one directly to his west.
Okay.
And going to miss badly.
Not well, yeah.
Yeah. And that's it.
All right, so unfortunately your greatsword attack goes wide as the melee continues up here to the top.
I don't know what happened.
Arun's turn.
Excellent. All right, we'll continue my skirmish with the one remaining in the river there.
Do it.
17, sir.
That hits.
I swear that never
11
happens.
plus
Like
6.
ever happens. there's a first time for everything, and that's the first time.
11's going to do it.
All right, so having
heart again.
acquired the location of their heart and studied it carefully, I'm gonna slip that underneath wherever, whatever armor he might have, and put it right through. And I'm gonna place my foot just like kind of like against his chest and kick him off backwards into the river.
Yep, he just splashes down, unmoving, kind of bobs
Get
there
some
for a
distance
second.
with the boom.
And then, yeah, sure, like a little like pathetic depth charge goes off in the water. And then I'm gonna move up here.
Alrighty. Steve, you're up.
Make my way up the hill.
Man, everywhere we go, we leave a pile of bodies.
I don't see a problem in that statement.
Not in this circumstance.
One more time with the dagger. Hucking it over Tara's head.
Hey, that one hit.
Oh yeah, that hit.
The one directly.
Right above Tara?
Yep.
All right. So as you, once again, kind of feeling a little down on yourself, you take careful aim this time and make sure you put a good follow-up swing on it as you send this dagger flying forward. And it tumbles through the air, and it almost looks like it might actually hit hilt first for some reason. But at the last second, the knife end comes around, slams into this thing's chest, and it gurgles and falls to the ground, unmoving. Max, you're up. Only one left.
Yep. As I stand, again, it was kind of bent over, so I can stand straight up and, pull the sword free from the body. I'm just going to, again, turn the grip back around and then swing like north-south, trying to split him, head to ass. That is no bueno.
So as you bring it around with this hefty strike, once again, not super skilled with it, but you know how to put the pointy end towards something. You bring it straight down, and this kobold, in pure fear and instinct, turns itself sideways in such a way that your blade just passes right by its nose and hits the ground without connecting. Tara, you're up.
I'm going to step forward and give this one more go. That's a 24 hit.
That one hits. Oh, yeah. Put me some flavor on how you finished off the last one.
Kill that thing.
I'm just I huff and step over the dead kobold in front of me, and I'm kind of just dragging my hammer behind me with two hands. And just like in a comic book style, just bring it over my head and smash it down on its head. Not really being able to see how tall it is, I overestimate and just kind of squish it into the ground.
Where once there was a kobold, there is now a heaping, disgusting mess. Tara is covered with gore. Max is covered with gore. Kurgoth is covered in gore and likes it. Yeah, it's a nasty scene right now.
With that, I'm going to kind of snap my fingers and rub my hand, cast prestidigitation, and clean the goo and gore from me and my clothes.
It takes a second, but you're able to get it all off of you.
Being in good condition, I want to start hiding bodies.
Yeah, I just kind of slumped down. Oh,
yeah, I'm gonna
not used to fighting this long.
Retrieve my dagger from.
Is there anything on the bodies? Like here, these two.
Give me another perception check. Anybody that's checking bodies.
I'll check my kobolds.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
24 with a -1 on the other side. If only those were the actual rolls.
Right.
Arun and Kegthor, you're able to find very similar parchments of paper that you found earlier. This time, not marred with blood and gore. Now you're able to see that the letter was clearly saying, I can't remember exactly what I typed because I made that up on the spot, but it goes along the lines of take their riches. Can't remember what
For the
fuck-
queen.
Yeah, for the queen. Attack Greenest were the three sentences.
Mhm.
You see that clearly they seem to be after the wealth of Greenest for some reason. For the queen, whoever that may be.
What
Kit.
time of day is it?
Can anybody read this?
Yeah, it's been about an hour since you arrived, a little over an hour. It's heading towards the midnight hours. It's early night.
um,
That's funny.
let's see. I'm going to kind of look at the rest of the party, and I'm not sure who's in agreement, but I could take a quick breather from violence.
As much as I don't want to say it, I could too.
Second that.
So everyone wants to take a breather, right?
Yes.
So
Short rest.
let's finish hiding all the bodies. Everyone, let's chill in the tunnel. I'll stay at the entrance and keep an eye out.
We should toss them in the river.
River's only about 3 feet deep.
Bodies are only about 1.5 feet tall when they're on their bellies.
They kind of float.
Let's pull them inside the tunnel.
Along
can
the
deal
river,
with the
there's a lot
bodies,
of
but-
bushes and trees and such that you could easily hide the bodies within.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like
thinking
the tunnel idea. We'll stack them with the rats.
No. That's how you get more rats.
Yeah.
The comment on the Twitch stream was you did not need to hide bodies if there are no bodies to hide.
So who's feeling hungry?
Not that hungry.
Nasty. All right, so y'all are gonna spend 10 minutes or so, kind of clean up the bodies, and then y'all want to try to get a short rest in.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay. Do. Let's look at who hasn't rolled a bunch tonight. It's gonna be Forge Kegthor. Roll me a d20, please.
Oh, come on.
Baby.
Look at that big 2.
Well,
It's so big. It's a strong 2.
for
Sit
you
you
and
stay with that too.
your friends,
At least you
you
can
were
count
you were aiming low, so you're able to retreat back to the tunnel with Arun keeping guard for about an hour or so, and you're able to successfully complete a short rest. So, if you want to spend some hit die, go ahead and do so. If you have any spell slots or any special abilities that come back, you get them back now.
Bloop. Bloop. I think I get Stone's endurance back. Yes. Yes.
Cool.
Havoc, just because I'm too lazy to try and find
Damn
any player's
it.
handbook. Short rest, retrieve any spell slots or sorcerer.
No, long rest only.
Okay.
Damn it. That one, though.
That one, though. You kind of got your ass kicked. Not gonna lie.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Y'all's a very
yeah.
general statement.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I'm not even sure how many people we fought.
At least
There was-
3.
There was only 8 of them.
They got an entire attack round. And then almost all of them rolled better than us.
Yeah, that was a thing that happened.
That was definitely a thing that happened.
All right, so you're able to rest over the course of an hour or so, get your breath back after those skirmishes that you've been through so far tonight. It's getting close to normal time would be about 11 o'clock, heading towards midnight. What do y'all want to do?
I'm gonna kind of turn in. Hey, Arun, you seem to have pretty good eyes. Can you scout out and see if you see any war parties with people with purple armor leading them?
I kind of silently nod and wait out just past the entrance. Take a look around, see. Basically, I'm gonna peek out first, look up and down the riverbank and on the opposite side, and then I'm gonna kind of take a quick look at the sky. Is the moon out?
It appears to be the moon is out. However, the sky is kind of blotchy with all the smoke rising from the village.
Okay. Yes. You want me to do a perception?
Yeah, as far as what's all on the riverbed, you don't see anything. You see a couple feet protruding from the bushes where you hid the bodies, but it doesn't look like they've been disturbed while you've been resting. Along the riverbank, it's kind of an indention in the ground where this river runs. Kind of like a creek would be. So you don't see anything down in that ditch. You would kind of have to move up on the ledge a little bit to see over and look back into the village proper.
Okay. Well, how about I climb one of the nearby trees for a better viewpoint?
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check.
16.
Okay. You're able to do it.
Sweet. Now you want a perception?
Yeah.
16.
All right. Well, Mitch the DCs. So you're able to nimbly climb up this about 20-foot tall tree. Not super tall, rather. But as you start looking around, you see a few villagers running scared that seem to have been warned out of where they were hiding. They don't seem to be pursued, however. You do see a few of these more kind of war bands going around. A few of the ones you kind of come to know, you see a few kobolds. You see some kind of larger, almost draconic kind of creature lumbering behind a few kobolds. You do happen to see a few cultists, or what you assume to be, with your research and such, wearing black, but their attire is slightly different. You see purple stripes running down the back of their jackets.
Excellent. What direction are they to?
They're off to the east, and they disappeared. They just moved away from you into a group of buildings.
Okay. And just to backtrack, what direction is the civilian fleeing? You said they're alone, but
Yeah, you saw one or two of them kind of running away. They didn't seem to be pursued. They were off to your south.
okay. So with that, I'll slink back down and head into the tunnel and say, I just saw a few different groups of cultists, some civilians, not pursued to the south. But one of the groups of cultists heading into the houses to our east has some purple stripes running down the back of their cloaks. Don't know if it's who we pursue, but they're the closest matching the description so far.
I like it. Good eyes. My suggestion now would be to move quickly towards them and attack. We at least need to have some coordination. We should take all the people down and that are escorting these purple armored folks. If there's more than one, we only need to save one. But let's make sure that we're all on the same page. At least we're clear. That way, when we try this, it's not an effort in vain.
I agree, and I mean we can tell from earlier it's clearly better to be on the side having the side ambushing. So let's try to go for that route again if we can help it.
We'll lead out with Steve and Arun with your arrows. If you can get a vantage point, it seemed to work very well for you last time.
I kind of just tap my bow and pull that back out.
After Steve makes his attack, the rest of us will follow suit.
Can I just say I love like talking about anything in a fantasy setting and then following it up with Steve.
All right, so what's the plan? You're going to pursue the ones that he pointed out to you all?
Yes.
Yeah, to the east.
Yeah, they were to the northeast, kind of into the
Uh,
more solid part of the town. Looks like there was a few buildings surrounding them. They kind of disappeared behind one of them.
Well, actually, let's go for a full picture here. Where were the other roving bands? Were any of them moving in a way that might collide with where we're headed?
It didn't seem like it. I would imagine you kind of have a knack for being able to judge where everybody's going. They seem to be all, haphazardly going in different directions, trying to search the entire city is what you would kind of assume. So it doesn't look like you would run into anybody else.
Okay. Then, yeah, I don't advise any change of plan.
All right, so y'all just gonna take off running? Y'all want to do anything specific? Be quiet? Be as fast as possible? What do you want to do?
I'm gonna approach it as stealthily as I can.
They across
stealth
the
is
river?
important.
They're back to the northeast, so you would just walk out, then head up the hill and head off back into the city or the village.
Okay.
Yeah, stealth would definitely be an option, you know?
So you
or
want
the
a stealth?
preferred option.
Yeah.
Yep, stealth.
Yeah.
All right. As y'all get ready to take off, everybody roll me stealth checks.
12.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
One.
Steve's
No,
like,
look. Okay.
There
Okay.
you go. All right.
All right, we're okay.
Y'all had a nat on either side that kind of canceled each other out, and then had one success, one fail, and then the other nat 20 saved you. So,
Holy cow,
as you move
guys.
off, you're
Thank
kind
you, blind woman.
The blind woman. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm being quiet about it. You start taking off, like I said, off to the northeast. You head back in. You see there's a little bit more solidarity when it comes to the buildings here. It looks a little bit more uniform. You see several streets kind of laying in line. Everything's very dirt patched and such on the grounds, but you do see several buildings in the area kind of making what seems to be some rough lane streets. As you kind of come up around the bend, around a few trees leading up into the buildings, you clearly see what appears to be the group in front of you. You see a robed figure in the back of this procession of people wearing black with purple robes, or purple down the back of their jackets. And this one in the back is wearing a much more purple into it. It's not fully purple like you saw in the commander that you saw previously, but they have their backs to you and are proceeding further into the village here. And feel free to arrange yourselves however you want. I just kind of plopped y'all down.
The blind girl shouldn't be chasing people. I'm going to the back.
So yeah, as we pull up, I will, or as we pull up, like we're rolling around in the ride out of the whip. I'm gonna turn to Arun and start whistling, but instead of this time, you can feel the strands of magic attached to it, but instead of it being loud, it's actually
Have a good
kinda
night,
soft
Swag.
and
Thanks for
um,
watching.
Arun's a he, right? Or she? I'm not sure.
It's a he. Yeah.
Mhm.
He, sorry, I was like this. I was saying Johnny, but yeah, yeah. As he hears the whistle, or as he hears the music, that he feels the magic entwined, and he gains one bardic inspiration die.
Excellent.
With that, a kind of whistle and nod, and pointing up to the top of the building we're close to here. Go on up.
Okay. Yeah, so we're not in combat, right? So I can try to sneakily just get up on top of the building.
You can try.
Why you gotta say it like that? Why you gotta say it with a chuckle?
Well, I'm gonna like motion at you and say like, just like say, give me a boost.
Oh yeah. Bend down and like interlace
10
my
fingers?
fingers.
Yep, 10 fingers, so I can just kind of, get a vaulting start.
All right. Give me an acrobatics check with advantage.
16.
All right. Yeah, you nailed it. You're able to hop up on top of this building. As this is all progressing, the entire group in front of you continues marching forward, moving up to this next intersection. What do y'all want to do?
I want to do the same thing I did with Arun to Steve every time I say with a whistle. But when I'm done, I'll point across to this side of the street. So he basically move up and wait there. I want to see which direction that these guys are moving. And then direct him, like if he's going down to this, they make the turn, like down here, we'll move to that corner, or if they turn in a different direction. Just basically waiting to see which way they're going.
All right. What's everybody else doing?
Ducking around to the corner here and waiting to see where they go.
I'm staying by Max's side.
All right. Everybody else just observing right now?
Hey Zorn, you want to lure them into us?
I can do that.
I think you could play a helpless blind girl pretty well.
Oh yeah, I could definitely do that. I'm gonna.
Oh goodness, I didn't even think about that.
All right, let's see. How far should I move in? I can only go there.
I don't think you need to go that far. We just want them to like not leave this kind of area, right?
Well, I don't want them to see Max.
Fair.
And I'm just gonna start screaming for help.
All right.
With my mole kind of behind my back.
Give me a performance check.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All
Oh
right,
yeah.
As Tara begins screaming, kind of standing there looking around, obviously not seeing anything, she starts screaming, "Help! Help me! Help me! I'm on fire! Help me! Help me!" I'm just gibberish, not making any sense. The rest of the party that's able to see the group in front sees them whip around, and you actually see this one guy start to run forward with concern on his face. And then he hears a grunt from behind him from the robed figure telling him to wait. And the rest of them begin to move forward, following the lead. This one still looks slightly concerned in the one that's closest to you, Tara, but they start to cautiously move forward to approach you. Everybody except Arun and Kegthar and Tara. So Steve and Max, give me stealth checks.
Before you have that bardic inspiration too, you can use that on ability rolls. So just so you know, you have to just use. Yeah.
Oh wait, you said I didn't have to do that. Sorry.
Yeah, you don't have to, Kegthar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
13 is better than 11.
13 is better than 11.
One second, I'm getting all my character sheets open.
Hold on.
It begins.
He's just kind of walking around the corner and look, and there's like a fucking dragonborn dude just like leaning up against the fucking building, like, hey, anybody
I just
see this
imagine
guy?
I'm flipping a coin, like, what? I'm sorry, what?
Okay, Steve, Max, you're very sneaky back there. You're not seen at all. Steve, as you're kind of looking around the corner, peeking around, you start to see the road figure look towards you, and just in time, you're able to duck your head away and stay hidden. They continue moving forward cautiously towards Tara.
As they're moving, I'm going to kind of follow behind and come to the corner here.
Okay.
And then, would that require a stealth since I'm still trying to stay out of line of sight here?
Yeah, as you get to that corner, give me a stealth check.
Okay.
What did you last one?
Arun. All right. Arun, what are you doing?
I'm gonna wait until they take like one more 5-foot square of movement, and then I'm gonna pop up and launch an arrow at the guy farthest in the back.
All right, Max,
Oh.
you do anything?
Oh, see it, Max. I'm just weird. Not responding to that name.
And-
I'm going to, like I said, the same thing. I'm waiting for Steve. As soon as Steve attacks, I'm going to attack the other one. So I'm going to move in to attack this guy here. Take
All right.
all these guys down first.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll take it.
Tara, you still screaming and crying? And
Yeah, I
everything?
want them to get pretty much there, but I'm like getting ready to swing my. I'm getting ready to grab my maul and swing it.
All right. Let's see how well you hide that. Give me another performance check. Nice. All
yeah.
right. So you still wailing? Oh my God! It
Just
hurts.
big old crocodile
Help
tears.
me, help me. I mean, you tears are forming at this point. You were this other guy steps forward away from the group.
I'm impressed.
Just this look of concern, like fatherly love on top of his face. And it's almost like, you're just convincing them that you need help from everybody. The rest of the group follows.
I'm sneaking behind them. Gonna roll stealth and try to bat this one in the back of the head with the sword.
Yeah,
They're very concerned with Terra right now. They don't see
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
You're
As they're
gonna
doing
roll
that-
for initiative and give me your rolls. You're gonna get a surprise round on this because Terra was with
Ugh.
you.
okay. Boy,
Okay.
girl goes last.
Hey,
He's gonna stop crying.
You're the bait. You're the bait. You're supposed to.
I mean,
You can't
you
stop
kind of go
crying
spend
until
a
all
second
of them are
to take
killed.
that maul you've been hiding out of your butt like you're in prison.
I better win an Oscar for this.
Yeah.
I'm so saying that maul's huge. Where's she been hiding it? They don't see it.
Smuggled in here.
Well, they can't see the handle. They just see what looks like a square rock behind me.
Zord just keeps
Hovering in the
bringing
air.
his ass.
All right, Kektor,
At the
you're
top
actually the
of the-
first to get up in there.
Yeah. I already rolled it. The great sword. 23 to hit.
23. Oh yeah, that hits.
12 damage. Flat.
This one in the back.
Yeah, in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, you just cleave right into his back. He screams in shock and pain and then falls over dead.
How'd you hit him in the back?
So as I was coming around, he's kind of like he's almost like creating a new sport ball game, and he runs up and he's like, "Hey guys, watch this!" And as he's swinging, it's again with the flat of the blade right across the shoulder blades, and you see as it hits the guy doubles over and kind of rolls and lands at the feet of the guy directly in front of him.
Oh God.
All right, Arun from the skies. What are you
All
doing?
right. I'm going to adjust my target to the one in front here.
The father figure?
Yeah, I can't hit the one in the
No,
back,
this one.
though. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the one that's running up trying
One that's
to
worried.
save Terra. Yeah.
Are
That
you
one's
okay?
mine.
So yeah, let's. Mm-hmm.
That hits.
And what? I don't know where that. Oh, that's for the.
Yeah,
the
that's your
crit.
crit. Yeah.
Damn.
So you only do the 6.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope. That's it for me.
All right. So you're able to, while standing on the roof, you kind of peek your head over and take careful aim. Take a shot. It hits home, but you do notice that this particular guard that was up in the front is actually wearing some chainmail and has a shield dangling from his arm. Your arrow penetrates through the chainmail, but you know it might be a little bit tougher to hit these guys.
I mean, I'm pretty okay with not having killed the father figure, so.
Just hurt him a lot. Max, you are up.
Well, with that, I am going to bum rush the father figure. Sounds terrible saying that.
I feel so bad now.
Pretty fucking
I
awful.
do feel kind of bad. but I'm going to bring my longsword down before he has a
Oh.
chance.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
And you're definitely gonna hit him
Yeah.
and kill him.
So as the arrow rocks, like I imagine hits him in the shoulder and like rocks like his shield arm. He goes to pull his shield up, but I come charging out of the bush and bring it down right at like his neck and collarbone area, but on the same shield arm because he can't quite bring it up far enough with his arms. And just drive it home and drop him in a mass, like a crumple.
And as you just drive your sword through him, clearly just shattering everything within him, you see a slight look of betrayal on his face as he peers around your shoulder and sees Tara behind you, wiping tears away from her face and kind of grinning slightly. And with that, he crumples to the ground.
Why, son? Why have you done this to me?
Because you came here pillaging and killing motherfuckers. That's why. you don't get no sympathy.
Steve!
Yes, Steve.
New target acquired.
There you go.
I want to know why the dragons in our party have 40-year-old white guy names.
Right. 14 does not hit, actually.
Ooh.
Oh, man. Damn it.
All right.
We got to remember how to use that Bardicans, because I mean that's a good one to use it on, right? But how do you?
He already used
get
this.
to stay? Did he?
He did.
Oh yeah, on the saving throw. Never
Yeah.
mind. You're good. My bad.
But like, if I get a 14, now I'll know to use mine. So like, it's not bad.
Right.
All right, Tara, last but not least.
All right, I'm going to step around Max, still grinning, and as I'm doing it, I'm bringing them all around from behind my back. And I am going to slam it into this guy's chest.
21 hits.
Yes, you don't.
You're going after this dude?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you're going to bring your maul around. This guy's just kind of shocked in place as he definitely catches his eye on Steve here and dodges his attack from with the rapier, but is unable to dodge the maul that then comes crashing against his chest. You feel solid connection on it, but he is still standing. That being said, Kektor, back to you.
Running up here, and instead of trying to kill him, I am going to grapple him to the ground.
All right, give me an athletics check.
Get it.
Yeah, you grapple him. You wrap your arms around him and just bear hug him in. He can't move.
And I am just going to hold him here as long as I have to.
All right, this guy is going to struggle against your grapple and is not going to be able to break it.
We have to do another one?
Arun. Yeah, he gets to do it at the start of his turns.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Oh.
other guy still alive?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm just
I was just preventing this one from doing anything.
I'm just surprised that Max didn't finish it off.
I killed one.
Or Tara then. Yeah.
Close, but no cigar.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, he's having trouble breathing right now.
Okay. Let me see if I can plug that wound.
Oh no, I
Yup.
crushed his ribs in.
Mobile plugging device.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I read that
Oh,
slit
yes.
perfectly.
You penetrated him so hard right now.
Stuffed that
yeah.
hole. Stuffed it real good.
You ever been penetrated
You
from
didn't-
40 feet away? I don't think so.
You didn't think it was possible for an arrow to actually cause a larger exit wound than an entry wound, but you just saw it.
Ugh,
He's super dead.
glorious.
Like so dead.
All right, Max, you're up.
How do we knock somebody out
Um,
in 5e? How do I
knock him
make
in
these go
zero.
Drop them to 0
Drop
HP.
him to 0 with non-lethal damage, essentially.
So while I'm holding him, you could punch him in the face over and over until he falls asleep.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm all about doing that.
I'm okay with holding him here as long as we have to.
Actually, how do we soften him? No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk anybody rolling a critical. I was gonna be like, hey, Tara, hit him with a hammer, knock him out. No,
No,
no, I'm gonna pop his head like a pimple.
This is a bad idea.
Why don't we just tell him to surrender?
No,
He's obviously beaten.
ain't got time for that. If you're gonna hold him, I'm gonna just again, sheathe the sword and just start hitting him until he's unconscious.
All right. That's going to be shit. I gotta remember what a unarmed
melee?
attack is.
Unarmed is whatever your strength is, and then it's 5 damage on hit.
Oh, it's 5 flat. Nice.
No,
it's 1d4 plus whatever your strength is.
So 4.
But if you're going to punch this man in the face while he's restrained, you're going to attack with advantage.
Oh, 1 plus strength modifier. According to Beyond, it's just 1 plus your strength mod.
Yeah, it's not 1d4. That's monk only.
Yeah.
1 plus your strength mod?
Yeah.
Yep.
5.
Havoc's excited for his monk.
Or you want me just to do damage?
That's going to hit either way. Don't even need to roll again. Now roll damage.
1.
I mean, if you roll a 1, you're going to punch Kegthor in the face. So.
Oh, Max.
Oh, look at that.
All right, you hit him for 5.
I'm pretty strong, dude.
He starts screaming obscenities at you as you walk towards him, getting ready to punch him. He says, "You'll never take us. There's nothing you can do here. She's coming. You might as well let me go now and die willingly." And then you punch him in the face, and he blubbers and looks very confused and wide-eyed. He's obviously seeing stars, but he's still awake.
All right.
Steve?
Hey, the dragon boy's gonna come in. No. Fuck you and your dragon, bitch, princess. We're gonna fuck you up. What you doing, Steve? Ooh.
I didn't crit, so 1 plus your strength mod. Well, that's fine. That's not the same way we were doing it, but okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you're gonna go up there, and just as this man is starting to get his senses back, he looks over and sees Steve come up, and he kind of stares at him wide-eyed, and he's like, "No, not again!" Before he can finish the sentence, Steve slugs him right across the face, and he just goes limp in Kegthor's arms.
Yeah, I'm glad y'all knocked him out. I did not want to be the guy who accidentally killed him.
Is he asleep?
Let him go. Watch what happens.
I'm not letting him go until I know that he's asleep.
He's asleep. I'll kind of whistle over to Arun and kind of motion him over.
I'm gonna hold up a hand to wait, and I'm just gonna kind of look up and down the streets for anyone else that might be coming.
Now that,
give me a perception check.
19.
As you look around, off in the distance, more than 200 feet away or so, you see a few more roving parties running up and down the streets further on, but there looks to be nothing in the immediate vicinity of you.
since he's asleep, going to unclasp my arms and reach into my backpack and grab the hempen rope that I have and tie him up.
All right, if you're tying him up, give me a sleight of hand check. All right, noted.
I don't like that.
I don't either.
Is that something you would know and you could try again?
Give me a perception check.
I'm gonna give you a perception check.
I wouldn't know anything.
Max.
Yeah.
So Steve
Dang.
looks down at it and Kegthor looks down at it. They think it's a pretty good job. Max walks over and looks at it and says,
They
You
just
realize-
looking at him back, like you think that's okay?
"You
Just for fun. No, okay, I can't really tell.
Roll. Roll.
Max comes up and looks at it, and he's like, he looks at Kegthor, looks back at Steve, looks back at Kegthor, says, "You do realize you only tied one of his hands, right?"
Tara looks down as this is going on. We're gonna role play the -1, and she's like, "No, it's right. I can see it. It's right."
No, yeah, the way my character is that was a disadvantage, so I did get a -1.
Kegthor, do you mind if I try? Not to say that you did it wrong or anything, but
I'll say he did it wrong.
I've tied many knots in my days. Trust me, this is right.
His one.
Kegthor, give me a persuasion check against Max and Steve's insight checks.
Oh boy.
Oh, please let mine be high.
We both believe that he has tied a lot of knots. This is not you know that, but you believe that he has tied a lot of knots, and you wonder how many of his prisoners has run away.
Right.
I'm gonna attempt to tie both his hands together.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check. All right, 17. It looks pretty tight on there now.
It looks much better.
Are you sure that's right? I would have swore I did it right the first time.
I'll just pat Kegthor on the shoulder, and I'm sure he's tied quite a bit of knots too. One of these days you'll have to tell me about how many you've tied. I don't have to wait until we get this guy back.
I'm gonna call over and say, we got roving parties streets over. If you guys want to talk about tying the knot, let's do it on another time.
Little does the party know, Kegthor's a licensed minister. Okay.
Yeah, I will.
What do you ingrates want to do?
I'll pick this guy up and sling him over my shoulder,
Okay.
and let's head back to the keep.
All right.
Can we move the parties not in the middle of the street?
No, leave him there as a warning.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna matter at this point.
Get back to Governor Nighthill.
Does this guy fit the criteria?
He might be like an underling. Kind of seems like.
I'm alright with that.
I feel like there's about to be a montage of us bringing different guys back to Mr. General over there, and him.
This
just
isn't the right guy.
This is a fish. Like, what are you doing?
Alright. Is that a duck? God damn it, Kegthor.
You said duck. I'm just following orders.
It's the Guardians of the Galaxy baby Groot scene.
All right, so what is the plan? Y'all going back through the tunnel? You gonna try to go through, climb over the wall or something? What do y'all want to do?
We can go back through the tunnel.
We'll do the tunnel, but we'll have Kegthor stay on guard.
Okay.
Stay on guard where?
The end of the tunnel.
Oh, okay.
He now has to guard the door that the gate would have guarded before he smashed it.
It's not my fault you gave me a puny little key.
Yeah, Hodor.
No, broke door.
All right.
I'll stay with Kegthor.
So y'all head back that way. Kegthor. Wait, did you do it last time? You did.
He did do it last time.
Max, give me a D100.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm getting the strangest sense of deja vu.
Oh boy.
66.
Okay.
6.
Mark of the beast.
Don't say the next words, we'll die.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say it.
So, we did say we weren't gonna die today, but I'm not gonna push our luck.
Wait a sec. In the tunnel chamber, there was an antechamber behind the gate to the inside of the keep before we went down to the stairs, right? The little storage area.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where it should be. Kegthor. Not at the door. At the squeeze your ass back through the tunnel. but
Gotcha.
just make sure you'll be following our rear. Make sure nobody's coming up behind us.
All right, so you're able to proceed on back down to the river. A few of you keep out watch to see if anybody discovered the bodies or the tunnel. You discover that no one appears to have seen it, so you're able to move back down the tunnel. You said you're leaving Kegthor back in the antechamber where the other door was?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he'll stay behind there. Everyone else proceeds back inside the town, or inside the keep, rather. And you proceed in. You're able to quickly locate the governor once again, Governor Nighthill. And he thanks you and says, if you don't mind, gentlemen, either you can intimidate this prisoner for answers, or I can get a few of my soldiers and we can get the answers we need out of him.
What do you guys think? I think personally think there's better things we could be doing with our time. And then while all this nonsense is still going on, what are you guys' thoughts?
I'm a very hands-off kind of guy.
Okay. You're kind of going with the flow.
I think you left your hands-on guy down in the antechamber.
Oh, well, hey, trust me. If we need answers from this dude, you're gonna be one asking.
We'll bring him down
We'll
to
play
your
good cop,
flavor
bad cop over
Shades of
here.
Grey.
What's a cop?
Exactly. That. Keep that mentality. Keep that attitude.
He means a prefect.
No, what is it like, really?
Like, really? What is it?
But okay, yeah, my guy's not going to be the type to do that, so he's not participating.
Yeah, I mean, I could try and intimidate him.
I got I kind of have that part covered. I just wanted to see if that's what we want to do. Do we want to see if there's something else that we can do and leave this to him, leave this to the governor, or do we want to do it ourselves?
I mean, I think the information will end up the same. So let's do something else.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of want to go patrol the the walls and take a look around.
Okay. Yeah, we'll tell the governor. Governor Nihil, we found someone who I think your tools might be able to glean some information from.
He nods and says, okay, very well. And he shouts a couple names up to the ramparts, and two very burly and large-looking soldiers with scars on their faces come down and take the prisoner away from you, and they take him off to an antechamber that you can see up to the north side. The governor nods to you, and he looks around. He says, feel free to catch your breath. I'm going to make sure they get started and wake this vagabond up. And I'll be back with you shortly. There's something else I need you to take a look at for me. So he heads off and heads off in there. You see the door shut. A few minutes go by. You're able to sit down and rest.
I'm going to go get Kegthor and lock the door behind me.
Okay.
Just so we're all together.
Yeah, you're able to sit down and rest for a few minutes. Get some much-needed food and drink. Get back on that. You notice a few hours have passed. It's approaching midnight. Seems to be a little bit past that at this point. And a few minutes pass after Kegthor's back up there, kind of wandering around, asking where the prisoner went. And about time, the governor comes back out and comes to talk to you. He runs his hands through his hair, kind of sweeping it back. You notice, didn't really pay attention to it before, but you notice this man's seen some action tonight. He actually has his right arm is completely in a sling. He's bloodied all across his chest. It's obviously his blood. It seems like he hasn't bothered with going and getting it healed by anybody. He seems to be been too busy. But as he kind of mops his very haggard face, he says, there's something else, my friends, that I need you to take a look at if you can. The guards have spotted a new threat. It seems these raiders are trying to set fire to the town's mill. If it burns, we'll lose our stockpile of flour, and we won't be able to grind more for months. I'm trying to assemble enough defenders from here, and he kind of motions around to the keep itself, so that we can defend it through the rest of the night, but that'll take time. You do us a great service if you go to the mill quickly and drive away the raiders before they can set it aflame. You only need to defend it until our forces arrive to take over. It shouldn't be more than maybe 15 minutes or so behind when you arrive.
Where's the mill on the map?
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Is it here? Bottom
Yeah,
left?
that's the mill. Yeah,
Okay.
I had to zoom out to figure out
Yeah.
exactly where it was.
Wait, where?
Bottom left corner.
Down in the southwest corner.
Holy
there's a
crash.
building down here.
Oh, that
The
way.
governor
nice.
kind of shows you from the ramparts and everything, points out to it. He says, just down those few roads. That's where it's
That was
located, and
unfortunate.
I'm afraid someone's going to set it on fire.
I feel like, so remember I said I'm going to the walls, and this is like not really, but I'm kind of like pointing over to the northwest there, going like, what's that?
What's that over there?
What's that over there?
No, he kind of re-explains that seems to be the commanding unit for this force that's surrounding him. That's why there's so many guards and such around. He says, I'm not sending anybody over there. I don't want to send anybody on a suicide mission.
You know what's funny is they're in range of my bow.
Nah, no, they're not.
Yes, they are. There's a feat map on the bottom of the page.
You can shoot 140 feet.
Yeah, that's actually the limit of my normal range. Disadvantage is up to 400.
The bow, baby. You can get out and touch them.
Oh, long bow,
wow.
son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can take pock shots and see how that does for you.
Just stirring the pot, pissing them off.
Go ahead. Try
Um,
it.
I'm gonna suggest that we hurry. We should use the sewer entrance or sewer exit. Move over there as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I agree with that. Whereabouts on the map does that exit come out? Is it like
Looks like it's right here.
here-ish?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was
it's
like
right
there.
about here.
Okay.
It'll take you a little bit to go through there, depending on how you want to go. If you want to be a little bit stealthier and go through the river, or if you just want to find the nearest road and head straight to it, it's up to you.
I would say we take the nearest road, so we
Yeah.
gotta cross the river, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
I'd say get across the river, find the nearest road across the river, and then follow.
Because
it
we're
down.
going to come out over here. So
Yeah, so go
we're
Yeah,
gonna
down.
have
it'd be
to-
easier to just ford the river and go down to this path.
Yeah,
straight over here.
Yeah. I'd have concerns
the
going
front.
out the front because I feel like they'd be watching
Yeah.
it, and then they would be like,
yeah. We
go kill
yeah,
those
we
guys.
can't do that. We can't put the civilians in danger either.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not coming with us. We're the three of them
No,
party
no,
here.
we don't want to draw any attention to the keep.
Boots on the beach.
All right, so the plan is to head to the mill via road to go see what you find.
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So you will get ready to venture out and head to the mill to go investigate that, but we will revisit that next Monday for our next session.
Excellent.
Okay.
Because that's going to be a beefy encounter. So,
Did
Oh,
we
yeah.
hit any checkpoints?
gotcha.
Damn it. Kill a lot of people. We got to.
All right. So that's our game tonight. Thank you guys for watching. Let's see. Recap of what we got coming up this week. We are off for the next 2 nights. RPG Thursday, starting at 7 o'clock. Then we have Free For All Friday. May return to some Squids from Space. We got some more codes from the developers. We may be handing some more of those out. D&D Sunday again on the following Sunday. Back here again next week. The week following, we will be starting up the first of our D&D Civil War games. So the Saturday game will be the first one up, then followed by the Wednesday game the week after. So that's coming very soon. Kind of excited about that. Hope you enjoyed. hope to see you on Thursday for RPG night. We're again continuing Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Other than that, that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us on our first session here on D&D Monday with the Tyranny of Dragons campaign. Appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a good night. I'll see you soon.